Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Division 3 of Valorant League. And wow, what a super week we have today. The two undefeated teams of our bracket, Frostbite Mystics, taking on Quantify, both with completely clean win-full match histories. This is going to be a banger, folks. Stay tuned for all of it. And of course, we are going to need to introduce our wonderful color caster for this evening. His first time ever casting. We are so welcomed to be joined by Ket. Ket, how are you doing?
Good evening, everybody, and I would be lying if I didn't say that I'm super excited. Of course, two of the best teams in Div 3, and I'm really expecting some banger games today, that is for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got Mystics who have just been going from strength to strength. Ekovid showing he is just either the best or one of the best mid laners in VL, period. And we've got that bot lane, Taria, coming off a couple of years hiatus and has made a storm back into VL. Talk to me about both these teams, where they're standing, how they got here, and this matchup that we might see.
Well, from what I have seen, both of these teams have shown nearly flawless executions in at least their games, only dropping a total of one map across their 6, or I should say 7 games each. And it's very interesting that, well, Quantify dropping their only game against Ablaze Academy in their last series. Hopefully it doesn't carry over into this one. Hopefully they've got their synergy back together, and hopefully we see some interesting picks in place today.
Absolutely, but remember, folks, this is not the only game we are going to be keeping track of. We are going to be keeping track of all 4 games that we have playing today. As first, we have Frostbite Mayhem, who took their first wing last week. Can they keep it going against Gracelight, one of the more dominant teams in this bracket so far? On the opposite side, 50-50 have been struggling, losing their last 2 games to the Frostbite Orgs. Can they clinch it back against Outlaw, looking to make their way outside of that relegation zone? Speaking of which, we have the fight for survival. Come on, stream music, you can do it. There we go. As we have Ablaze Academy yet to pick up a game, going up against Limelight Avalon, wanting to make it through to that single elimination best of 5 bracket round. Stay tuned, folks, because we will have the scores and on the doors all here. But, folks, we need to go back to the picks and the teams, Kat, that we want to talk about, what we're here to see. Let's talk about Quantify Force, what they're playing, and how they've been able to secure such a dominant win streak so far.
Yeah, so from what we see right here, Quantify really showing their flexibility with that Cho'Gath, flexing it in multiple roles, as well as showing the unstoppable force with that Jinx and Thresh combo in the bot lane, something that not only can snowball, but also pretty safe, has engage, disengage, basically everything you need.
Yeah.
And that Cho'Gath flexibility also something that, if you want to go damage, you can go for that full AP and HP scaling build, or if you want something tanky, it fills everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk to me more about how Quantify Force, we've seen those 3 picks, but also we've seen Kog'Maw and Milio. We've seen a very hyper-scaling bot lane. How do Quantify usually like to win a game with jungle and all that?
Mostly, Quantify's biggest strength is Stevo, of course, probably, or arguably the best jungler, someone who some people might say that he deserves to be in a higher division and should compete with at least most of the Division 2 junglers.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been able to fill for them in Scrim, and very well. This week we have something a bit different. We have a pick to watch. Our color caster will be analysing their op.gg's and game histories and looking for a pick. You have, for Quantify Force, gone with Ivern. Tell me about that one.
Ooh, Ivern. Well, after the recent jungle changes, we have seen a lot more of Ivern buffs coming in, and a lot of people are flexing it not just in the bot lane, but also in the mid lane, going full AP with the new support item for more healing and shielding. It's something that can be very flexible, obviously. Besides the peeling and the root Daisy also just does so much damage now, and it's quite insane. We also seen some sneaky invades with it. I think it's something that if Quantify, if they can make it work and if they can execute it properly, it's just going to do so much damage, and it's might just annoy Mystics more than anything else.
Yeah, runs so well into a protect comp, especially with the Jinx and the Cogmores that we've been seeing from the Quantify bots lane. Honestly, I think Ivan could be a super dangerous pick if it lands in the hands of Big Boy Stivo or, you know, down in the bot lane. That could be a very scary one. So we'll see what they ban out when it comes to that. But let's move over to Frostbite Mystics. Now, you have pegged them to be the favorites, Ket. But let's talk about their champ pools and how they got to be one of the favorites.
The Amumu, probably one of the strongest, I think, champions right now across Div 2 and Div 3. Not only because of, well, how the items work with the Amumu, but also the flexibility. We've seen it in the jungle and in the support lane, pairing it up with a lot of AoE as well. But the Blitzcrank as well, a playmaker champion. I think Frostbite Mystics wants this. They want these plays. They want these champions that just go in, or they pull someone towards them, single that target out, and just destroy them. Fiora as well, a 1v1 god if you know how to execute properly, and also a great split pusher that can just draw so much attention to that top lane, or to the side lane even, in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, let's talk about how Mystics have been winning games in draft. They've been picking, you know, Echovid, their mid laner, has been so strong. What kind of picks maybe that we aren't seeing here? I don't want to, you know, give away what the pick to watch is here, but how do Mystics usually win a game? You know, who are their strong players? And yeah, talk to me about that, Kat.
I think mostly when you look at their wins, I think it's the mid and the bot lane. These two players, Saria and Echovid, they're players that can flex these mages in the mid lane, in the bot lane. The Swain, most notably, we've been seeing it popping up more and more across the league and across other bigger leagues such as the LPL and the LEC. And I'm hoping to see that today. I want to see this flexibility, just showing that you can get into Quantify's head, make them think what's going where.
Absolutely, and that goes into our pick to watch, which you have selected this week, is the Taliyah, brought out by Echovid and Taliyah. Tell me about this pick.
I mean, Taliyah is such a safe champion both in the mid lane and I think in the bot lane when it's paired with an engaged support, something that can basically lock the target down so you can secure that seismic shove. It just does so much damage, it locks the target, and it just bursts it completely, especially if it's an AD carry or a squishy support mage.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been banned against Mystics so much, and it is tough even when that is banned out. Echovid and Taliyah, such a deep champ pool with things like the Swain and, well, the Echo, that is his name. We haven't seen it whipped out yet, but will we see it today? I've seen it in scrims, so we shall see. But folks, we are about 4 minutes before game. I want to see those Twitch chat. I want to see who you're rooting for today. Will Frostbite Mystics go 5-0 in week 5, or will Quantify Force upset the Mystics and show that they could be a contender for this finals? Let us know. But I just want to talk about, you know, we've talked about the draft. We've talked about what these teams could pick. What do you want to see banned? You know, let's just go quick fire. What do you want to see banned away from Mystics? What screams out you being a scary pick?
Honestly, I don't want to see any tanks. I don't want to see these boring top laners. I don't want to see any split pushers. I want to see some action, some spice. I want team fights, non-stop chaos, because this is where you have to show up. These are the two best teams. Show us your mechanics. Show us what you can do and how you can turn fights.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if we get Mr. Robs on his Fiora versus Forks, who we should note is subbing in for Deadly Fish this week. Forks will be playing in the top lane. Loves playing those chanks like Cho'Gath, but I'd love to see Forks whip out maybe a Camille or maybe just something a bit different there, Kat.
Honestly, I would like to see something like bruises in the top lane. We've seen the Olaf pop in other games. I want to see the Fioras, the Renekton's, these champions that just want to fight early game, and also that have a lot of outplay potential. 2v1s, anti-dives, dives.
Ye-
Something exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, both of these teams. I mean, we could say that both these teams are very typical in playing around bot lane, but if I were to give my own prediction, I think Mr. Robs on his Fiora can be exploited. We saw in that game against Mayhem, their sister team, Mr. Robs was struggling against Lucky's Mordekaiser, I believe it was, and he was very pressured. So we could see Big Boy Stevo actually put his pressure towards the top side, maybe. But, this is a bot lane meta, Ket. Do you think that that would be a good idea for Big Boy Stevo? Or not? What are you thinking?
I think the main focus for at least Quantify would be to focus on one lane. It doesn't matter which one it is and get it ahead. Make sure the other lanes play as safely as possible and just get something snowballing, because I think that's their biggest strength. Having Stevo to go in with another Fed carry, whether it's top mid or bot lane, will just be so crazy to deal with for Mystics.
Absolutely, and we are almost about to get into draft. It is almost 7 o'clock UK time, 8 p.m. Central Eastern Time, but Kat, I have to do it to you. I always like putting my casters on the spot. Let's get some predictions. What do you think this series is going to go to?
Honestly, from my experience, because I've played against some of these players, I honestly think this should go to the full 3 games, and I might favor Mystics a bit. Just because from what I've seen, Echovid has been playing crazy. He's been carrying games. He's had multiple MVPs. Just playing really well, and I want to see him keep playing well and keep carrying these games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think actually the bottom 3 of Frostbite Mystics have all got MVPs from COVID, Taria, Piker. I think they've all turned up in VLDR. And I mean, for good reason, right? They've just been popping off. Can they stop, just spamming it in chat and just get on with the goddamn draft? I swear to God. Are we ready? Okay, there we go. Okay, they are ready. Thank you. Someone's watching the stream. I also, just before we get into draft, if any of you are new here, if someone could put a link to the VL Discord, we're a very welcoming community. It's Pride Month as well, so we've got a lovely Prided Up logo. And yeah, I've absolutely loved being here. Ket, if you want to talk about your time in VL, because I've enjoyed it, all the way.
Honestly, it's my first time in VL. It's my first split. I think the atmosphere is great. The teams are great. I love the competition, and I also love the community. It's been really kind towards me. Had no issues so far, and I hope it continues that way.
Hell yeah. Okay, we are ready. Let's see if we... Oh, I should say, Kat, that we often have a couple of champ issue problems. That's definitely not because I, mess it up. But we will see sometimes in draft we do get a little bit of problems, so do bear with us if that does happen. But we are into draft right now, and that Ivan, as we talked about, is taken away by Mystics.
Yeah, something that is really flexible. You don't really want it to go into the right hands. You just want to take it away, especially if you don't play it. I think it's something very efficient.
Yeah, I think works into that protect comp that we were talking about. We looked at the Jinx and the Kog'Maw that are just so easy to get that damage. You can pair that with an engaged support on the bot side, knowing you've still got that Enchanter. Oh my god, we are prophets here, Ket. Ivan, Shogath, and Fiora all taken off. We're going to see some new champions coming out here.
And hopefully something spicy, something that wants to fight constantly, to trade. And the Amumu goes out as well. Get rid of these tanks. We don't like tanks. Tanks are for boring players. We want some action.
Yeah.
At least in game 1.
Absolutely. Teams, usually in game 1s, I've seen on stage, I actually went to MSI London, and they tend to draft very safe early, comms that they know and are standard. But looking at these bans, Milio and Ivan very much denies a protect comp that we could see coming out the bot side. And oh god, Fiora and Amumu, it's going to shit already. Very much common. Ari banned out as well. We're going into picks. What do you think of the bans so far?
I think, and there's instantly that Swain flex pick making the team of Quantify. I think, where are we gonna put this? Is it gonna go mid? Is it gonna go bot? And honestly, I think or at least Frostbite here, banning away the Ivern and banning away the Milio. They just want to scream, we want to go in, we want to fight you, and you only. We don't care about your disengage. We're gonna jump on you, and you're not gonna do anything about it.
I love that. And what a response here. Lilia, the Dumbs special, coming out, although I hear he has a girlfriend, so, I mean, there was some friction on Twitter there. But so much, you know, I feel like Swain and Lilia do the same thing in the sense they have so much magic damage, consistent, and with the Zeri that could be picked up here, so broken. I saw it so much in the Curling Championship. This is a strong 1-2 here for Red Side.
And I also think they kind of want to push that Swain into the mid lane. Of course, Zeri has a dash, has a little bit of range and poke. Lilia as well with that E and the mobility to dodge away from the... Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And there goes the Talia and the Blitzcrank. They want to fight, and they want to move.
They do, but which one are these Swain and Talia going in? Is it going to be... I do agree with you. I do believe... I actually think it will be Talia in the bot lane, like you said. We've seen that pairing come out of this bot lane before. There is a risk, though, that Mystics here could fall into a bit of an AP-heavy comp here.
And the thing is, the enemy team has a lot of mixed damage as well with that Zeri. You pair it up with the Lulu. It kind of like... You give Pythro a question, who do you want to hook? Do you want to hook the Zeri who can dash away and get ulted by the Lulu? Or do you want to hit the Lulu and then have the Zeri just free hit you?
I know, honestly, how many seasons has it been? And I've just been Zeri Lulu. I think I should be put in an institution because there's no way this has been meta for the past year or so. Maokai taken off as a strong engaged jungler. The Penumbral Pumpkin plays a lot.
Thing is, you see they get rid of the Maokai. I think the side of Frostbite wants an engaged top laner and an engaged jungler that does a little bit of more AD damage. You think of the Olaf, as I mentioned, the Scion being taken away, also but really good into the side of Frostbite as well. Thanks so much damage.
Yeah, absolutely, and those tanks, we love to see it. We are rejoicing over the caster's desk. 3 tanks taken away, and that Silas, a lovely blind pick, maybe could go well into that Swain that's probably going mid lane. And yeah, with those ultimates, you definitely ban away that Silas.
I'm really surprised that the Silas actually didn't go on P3 instead of the Lulu, but you kind of want to secure that safety for the Zeri at least with this engage, and the Ornn coming in as well. Starting to look like a standard front to back, at least for the side of Quantify.
You can't ban all of them. Some tanks will get through draft. This is the sad thing. Penumbral Pumpkin, I'm not going to just say my brother's real name, just out. But looking for the Vi, maybe goes to the Sejuani like the dirty tank player that he is. Works well with the very short range comp that they have. I think the Talia as well, that zone control will play right into where Sejuani wants to play. And this 5th pick, what do they want to blind in this top lane?
Boy, the Cassante really good here. You take away, or the Shen as well, but the Cassante would fit here more. As I say that, the Shen gets locked in as well. They want to fight, they want to engage. And I think Shen paired up with the Swain is really good. Not only to get more sustain, you get that giant shield, and you get another teammate to just spawn right next to you.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about, you know, that Swain goes in as we see the Vigar now picked up as a 5th that will go for Cassandra. Cassandra. I think I'll just call her Cassandra. But, you know, you think about that Swain, you know, he survives so long in the midst of those fights. And if you think a Shen coming down on that as well, that's a very scary combo for Mystics.
I think both of these team comps have a lot of value when you think about it. It's all going to come down to picks. The Lilia sleep, the Vigar cage, the Ornn ults. And on the other side as well, the Talia Ws, the Blitzcrank hooks, of course, the most dangerous thing in any part of the game, whether it be level 1s or level 18s. One good hook is GG, and I think we all know that.
Yeah, sounds like my solo queue games. But just as a little note, it was Quantify Force who did not go in order, as some of their teammates did not have all the champions, and that is why you see the order that you have currently. But we've got 3 minutes for that spectator delay. I just want to talk about, you know, how this plays out, because I mean, I love in theory the idea of Zeri, Lulu, Lilia, Vigar, but at the end of the day, do you think Mystics can just roll over this, or do you think it? I don't know. I'm really trying to get my teeth into this draft. Talk me through it.
I think what the side of Quantify wants to do is just try to one-shot the Swain as soon as possible. Make him not relevant in any team fight, because when he dies, you lose so much sustain and you actually lose a bit of tankiness and damage. Yes, you have the Sejuani and the Shen and the Blitzcrank, but besides that, the Talia can't really just 1v5 like a Swain can,
Hmm.
as well as she can't really leave the Vigar cage.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about this before in draft. This, I mean, you could maybe count Shen as like part AD, but if he's going tank, this is a full AP draft. So, Forks, he was drafted in as a substitute, and his magic damage stacking that he will get post lane against Shen is going to come in so much in clutch cap.
Yes, and when you look at the Vigar and the Lilia, two champions that don't necessarily need to build fully damaged, think of it, they can both go Merc Treads and they can both go Banshee's Veil. Especially the Vigar, who stacks basically infinitely, can just go, let's say, a mythic item like Ludens or a Rod of Ages, then instantly into that Banshee Veil. He's almost not going to lose any damage. He's going to be able to survive the Blitz Hook or the Seismic Shove or even the Sejuani ultimate.
Yeah, I think the event horizon as well from Vigar is going to be so useful. This highly short range pick comp, kind of, that we have from the side of Mystics is going to be one that Quantify Force is going to want to keep at range. So I think things like the Ornhorn disengage, like the Vigar event horizon, Lulu as well, being the annoying little yodel she is, I think that can actually work well. And if they don't get the fight started off brilliantly like by Mystics, I think Quantify Force have a lot of damage per second and can really turn these fights, Cat.
And the one thing I also like from Frostbite's draft is just the Talia and the Swain, their ability to push lanes. You can have both of them in a side lane, or at least the Talia and the Shen, and then you have the Talia ult and the Shen ult to just join a fight in the mid lane in case something bad happens, or in case an objective like Drake or Baron or the Rift Herald spawn. Also
Yeah,
something that Quantify need to think about. They need to think about side laning a lot here. As much as I hate to say it, side laning is going to be important here.
you mean there's other parts of the map other than mid lane?
After 15, we should all ARAM. It should be an official rule.
This is my color caster right here. I am, the spokesperson for NA, given the fact that NA is currently in flames. So this is where this is actually just like don't even know. This is double lift actually. It's not even Taria. Like they just needed to find some work, and here we are in VL. But we are getting into game. 1 second as we just sync up all our replays so that we can bring the game to you just as well. Hopefully we don't get any crashes as well like we did last week. But yeah, after draft, who do you think's won, Ket? What are you thinking?
In my opinion, it's 50-50. It's really split because both teams, they have these picks that they can execute. In a sense, I favor the draft of Quantify a bit more just because you have the security with the Vigar and the Zeri Lulu. On the other hand, a Blitzcrank can end all that with just one button.
Yeah, it's going to be very execution based. I think where I can imagine, maybe after that 5:30 base timer that we often see now come into the meta, I think 4-man bot dives, maybe by Frostbite Mystic, can really get that snowballing. I know Penumbral Pumpkin, he is my brother. I know how much he puts the value on Drakes and making sure that bot lane, there's so much CC on the side of this Mystic side that I feel like they can really choose when they want to fight and then transfer that into objective so quickly.
But the one big question is that I have for the side of Frostbite Mythics, who's going to kill this Ornn? If you keep stacking MR, you don't really have any AD damage apart from maybe Shen, or unless you want to go AD Blitzcrank, maybe try something new.
Yeah, well, he will be going up against the Shen, which will create a little bit of a dilemma for the Ornn. But with the Forge, he will be able to build his own items, and lane as he sees fit. We are just in the game, so we will just be syncing up our timers. I am currently at 7 seconds.
It's still in. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, no worries. Just let me know when you're at 7 seconds.
And I am there.
awesome in-game overlay should be working. We will press play and have time controls off, just for no spoilers. Oh, whoops, hang on. I forgot to, right. What time are you at?
I'm currently at, 1 second, 25.
Oh, okay, right. I'll go to you, right. I'm currently at 16. So just pause, and I'll tell you when I get to 25. Okay, 20,
No.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25 play. You got it?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Right, there we go. That's one way of doing it. Right, map off, and we have a 5-stack in the brush. That Blitzcrank, you see it so many times in solo queue. Waiting for the invade. Mystics not going to take the bait, as we have a standard level 1 here, Cat.
As they shouldn't. There's no real reason for red side of Quantify to even walk forward. Your level 1 is not that strong, and on the other side you have the Blitzcrank. You have the Shen, who can potentially start E as well, and the Swain E, or Swain should start E at least in these types of lanes.
They're still here. There we go. They're all going back to their lanes. I think did they do that exactly at 1 minute?
Probably.
Yeah.
It would actually show a lot of synergy from Quantify.
Yeah, just
They
loving.
bounce back after dropping one map too. Blaze Academy, hopefully they try not to repeat something like that, as Blaze Academy is currently the worst or lowest team in the standings for Div 3.
Yeah, and they did drop a game against them. They are fighting for their survival over against Limelight Avalon this week. Let's see if they can pick up a game, but going back to the draft, it is Lilia, actually, we can see, who's starting on a... That is the wrong one. It is Lilia who's solo starting on red side, making sure that Orn gets the lane prio, but Taria and Blitzcrank, that threat of the level 1, actually coming in, the hook landing on Deadly Fish, but a simple trade back will happen. Typical side with a bot lane path from both junglers, Cat.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want. You want to play towards this bot side because it's really explosive. You want to get this area ahead as fast as possible, and I guess you want to make it as safe as possible as well, with the Lulu trying to keep the Blitzcrank away.
Absolutely.
Hook does not land.
Yeah, hook does not land. Actually, taking a lot of damage there on the side of the bot lane. Some really good trades there from the side of Quantify Force. However, I would just like to point out the thing that I completely forgotten. Back to you, Kat. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
It's okay. I mean, we're not seeing any action really. Both teams just want to scale up and wait for the level 6. Because that's where all the power spikes come from. You think of the Shen ult, you think of the Ornn ult, the sleep, the Veigar outplay button that will just delete anyone that's under half HP probably.
I would join you in that mockery, but I was on a tournament recently. We see a nice hook land from Pycro. Z-Drex trying to get out, and he does, but not, without taking a lot of damage. Mana bar's low from both spellcasters in the bot lane. It's going to be interesting to see how Quantify respond with their health bars. Lulu already down as well. Lots of trading in this early game.
And that's what Pycro's supposed to do. You're supposed to get these hooks in early, make them think, get in their head, you know, what are we gonna do if another hook lands? And honestly, a good reset here, I think, from the side of Frostbite. Maybe get a tier as well to solve a little bit of the mana issues for Talia.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the junglers trying to contest over this crab. Penumbra gets it, but at what cost? Event Horizon comes down. Flash has to go around, a very intelligent Flash. Big Boy Stevo's not going to let this second crab go down as well. Penumbra Pumpkin shadowing, looking to see if anything will happen, but probably both junglers will just go into their top side. No smite for Penumbra Pumpkin will make this somewhat easier for Big Boy Stevo. But yeah, as I was talking about before, Kat, like, I would join you with the outplay button on Malzahar, but I was just playing in the Broxer Curling Championship, and all I did was play Malzahar, so I don't know if I could join you there.
You know, Veigar, he likes to take your HP without even realizing. It's something I think is really insane, and I think it's something also very important if you land Lilia Sleep with the Event Horizon and then just WQR on the Swain. I think he'll send him back to Fountain real quick and make him might regret the pick, or might make him say, hey, maybe I gotta get Merc Treads.
As apologies, folks, I did not have the overlay on, and it's all mixed up, so we're gonna have to sort that out now. But yeah, as we see a little bit of a CS advantage on the side of Frostbite, but nothing too major, and I don't think it is in this early game, like you were talking about, we're gonna see anything major be decided.
I think the first big fights that are going to happen is when both mid laners and both junglers hit level 6. I think the smartest thing to do would be to just run bot for those objectives, as we see a nice try here in the bot lane with the seismic shove and the hook.
Yeah, Deadly Fish is just really able to dodge out those early hooks, but as we were talking about before, these 530 back timers can be really helpful. You see, you can get the prio in your bot lane when you get a good reset. You can prioritize around that dragon where you know those first kills are going to happen. I love this from the side of Frostbite, happening with both the bot laners and the mid laners. And you're going to see Frostbite, because of this, they're going to look to get a kill, and this could get very dangerous for Quantify in the next minute or so.
If they keep stepping, if they don't push out the wave, because I also think they need a reset. They have the call on this Zeri, which means they just want to farm up, get as much gold without fighting as possible. Just try to get those boots a little bit sooner, because you gotta dodge those blitzcrank hooks. Otherwise, bye-bye bot lane.
Do you think Lost Chapter might be a bit broken? Do you think, just looking at their items, they both have the exact same?
You know, they lowered the price of the item. It's kind of always been that major item that you want in the early game. It kind of not only gives you a lot of mana, but a lot of mana refill. And as I say that...
Event Horizon will land, but Ekovid is 6. He might be able to get out of this. Ult lands from Cassandra as Ekovid is looking to turn this. Penumbra Pumpkin is here as he does flash in, but he's not able to get out of the damage. Lovely little bit of juking and just great damage. Big trade and big fight in the mid lane. But also, was that a flash from someone, Ekovid?
That was a flash from the Swain, but honestly, very interesting that the Veigar threw his ult a little bit too early. Swain was not really low, and he was in his ult. He was standing in the... a little bit of trade in bot lane as well.
Yeah, Deadly Fish, that knockback from Talia just going a little bit wide. Unfortunately, my names of abilities are going to be a little bit off. I currently have flash guards that go down to like K. So I think anyone like before that in the alphabet, you're hunky dory. Anyone before that, and I'm just going to describe their like CC effects.
Yeah, but again, I think good idea from Quantify, just poor execution, just throwing those abilities almost in a panic. Maybe costing them a kill, maybe not, but in the end of the day, they got the flash and they both got to live. And no kills so far in 7 minutes.
I know, right? What is this, LTK? Like, this is insane. But I honestly do like this. I mean, getting the flash and ult and ghost out of a Swain is going to be very useful for picking off this immobile mage. I think, you know, I was really worried this was going to be a stomp from Mystics. I was worried this wasn't going to be a banger. But oh my god, Quantify Force, they are playing with insight. They're playing with their heads screwed on. And yeah, a 100 gold difference at 8 minutes, Cat.
It's very interesting, but I also think, like, for the side of Mystics, this top lane is also going to be very pivotal. You want to push out this lane and you want to just move out as the Shen, ult from the shadows, make sure it doesn't get interrupted, and make sure to help your team out as much as possible. To just snowball it even faster.
We see Penumbra Pumpkin is making his way. He is burning down that Rift Herald. Hopefully he's able to get it on the Swain or this bot lane. Both are idle targets. And with Blitzcrank in the area, making sure that will be an easy take for the side of Mystics. Where do you want to see this?
I think either putting it in mid or bot as oh,
a lovely little hook. Hook not gone, and it does land. Cassandra going very low, about 25%. Deadly Fish trying to do what he can, but the Penumbra Pumpkin getting in it is a first blood already. Deadly Fish has to flash out. So dangerous, but the ult from downtown Sejuani aiming that to perfection as it is 2 kills for the side of Mystics.
How cracked is Pycro, just doing everything perfectly, roaming, leaving your Talia safely in the bot lane, getting a nice hook, the CC chain with the Swain E as well, and then that Glacial Fissure coming out of the Sejuani. You love to see it. And this is what we want to see. We want to see these plays. We want to see the side of Mystic snowball. You don't want this Ornn to get into the late game. You don't want this Veigar in the late game. You want to smash them as fast as possible.
Absolutely, there is a timer for Mystics, but they are very much aware of that. Oh, it was the Swain who did that. An ult coming out from Big Boy Stevo onto 3. Gives them time, maybe looking for something. Tariat using the wall, trying to disengage. A scary threat from the side of Quantify, but nothing will come out of it, Cat.
I think Steve might have popped his ult a little bit prematurely. He just wanted to make a play. Saw his team wasn't there. Decided, okay, we don't have to fight. We'll just let the Drake slide. And also a good Talia ult as well, making sure that they don't really have an escape in case a collapse comes from the Ornn or from the Shen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, sorry, I will turn timers on at the bottom right there for you guys. But yeah, I mean, a double objective take and 2 kills, putting Mystics 1.5 gold ahead. I mean, we were expecting this to an extent. We knew that Quantify going for a bit more of a late game comp, but definitely not what you want to see. And this Swain with 2 kills already, going to be very scary, Cat.
And we also see the early Merc treads coming on the side of the Swain. And while the Veigar is opting to go for the Everfrost instead of maybe some defensive or more HP scaling items such as the Rod of Ages or the Crown of the Shattered Queen. It's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we even see like 1.2k gold of that deficit is on Swain. So he will be able to get that Liandry's mask very soon. Whatever the name of it actually is. Liandry's Torment. And yeah, it's going to be a very scary Swain. We saw 2 people try and kill him already, and that wasn't able to be enough. So yeah, a COVID, going to be doing a COVID things, looking for that VLDR MVP.
Like I said, already 2 MVPs, played really well across every series that he has played so far. I mean, he's just showing them, hey, I'm the guy here. I'm the best mid laner. I'm here to show you guys how this is done.
And look at this mid lane here. Look at the vision that Mystics have all around, making sure that a COVID is looking so good. Pycro in the area as well, making sure that Veigar is just staying off that wave. He can't stack. This is so scary with Rift Herald popped as well. A COVID with 2 skill shots missing, but it doesn't matter. The Rift Herald will land, and that's more gold going into the pocket of a COVID.
And I really think they should try to make a COVID as strong as possible. Yes, you have the Talia bot lane, but she's basically the safety. She stops the Zeri from going in, she stops the Ornn from going in, and you just have the Swain just tank up the damage, and the Talia poke is enough so far, probably.
Sleepy, not the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. The ult from the Lilia is there, but decides not to use it against the Pycro, who himself is quite tanky, you know, both with his base HP and the items that he has been able to buy. It is oppressive. It is very good active plays from Mystics, but nothing too dire yet, Cat.
I mean, Mystics so far, they have a lead. Yes, they are on a timer, but I also think, oh, maybe overstepping a bit.
And this is how they get back into the game. Quantify Force coming in, ult coming down onto the Blitzcrank, gets 1. Zeri looking for the ult and looking for more, but Taria with the Ghost is able to get out. All summoners used, but it is a nice 1k kill onto the side of the Zeri.
Pycro kind of stepping a little bit too far, trying to land a hook, but I mean, they should have seen the Lilia on the control board.
Yeah, decided maybe a little bit of overconfidence there from the side of Mystics. They have very much been saying, you know, if you hear them on the rating streams or you see them in chat, they are very... This is a team who very much knows their skill worth, but that maybe could lead into a little bit of arrogance. And yeah, that is Quantify Force punishing that one, Cat.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Oh, as Cat, you are just muted, at least on my Discord, but it is no matter. We will hopefully solve that as we are here. I think you're back, Cat?
I am misclicked by accident,
no
but
worries.
yeah, as I was saying, Quantify, they need to show signs of life. Yes, they have the scaling advantage, but also, uh-oh.
There's no...
Oh.
Was that something that happened? Oh, it was just a good trade. I was like, uh-oh, what's happening? What time are you at, by the way?
Oh, 1740... 1430.
1430. Ah, you're quite far ahead. We're currently at 1412. So maybe just go back to like 1425. Oh yeah, we see a COVID actually getting gone on. 3 members here already. A COVID pops the ult as it is 40% now down on a COVID. The ult from Cassandra makes it low, but the Shed ult coming in and the TP means this is the first big fight. Deadly Fish looking to flush away, maybe a bit out of position. Ornhorn comes through, looking to start the fight. Fox gets a nice CC onto 2, but it's Cassandra who goes down first. Deadly Fish in the backside. Fox looking to go down next, but the health bars are dropping from Mystics. Big Boy Stevo on the flank. Hook lands onto the Zeri, but it's doing so much damage. These blinking health bars from the side of Mystics are getting so low as they're just going from strength to strength. Zitex getting another kill and dashing out for the safety of it. It is 2 for 2 on the side of both these teams. A huge bloody fight, but it does end up with Quantify getting the control of the vision as both teams retreat.
I might have spoiled it a bit with a little bit of
No worries.
misclicking, but
If you want
I
to
want to
pause,
say the
Oh, yeah.
Zeri, how good was that positioning just away from the entirety of the fight? Yes, she was seismic shoved at the end, but at that point there was no follow-up. All of your damage dealers were either low, out of mana, or just not in the fight.
Yeah, was able to play that so well. Maybe, you know, Mystics, maybe a little bit cautious here. As if you want to just, what time are you on? Do you want to like sync up just a little bit?
I'm currently at 15:43.
Oh, I'm at 15:44 now, so we're basically at the same point.
Yeah.
If you want to just like pause for a little bit. Deadly Fish actually getting caught here. A lovely little pullback. He's going to lean Deadly Fish with nowhere to go. No flash for this Lulu. Means a nice little pick from the side of Mystics.
Pied Crow, as long as he doesn't overstep, his hooks have just been on point the entire time, and I think he has to keep doing this. This is the only way, I think, if the game gets out of control, the main way how Frostbite Mystics wants to win the game, as he's being a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, was spotted by the red trinket there. But yeah, it is. We talked about the pick potential, this short range comp that we have from the side of Mystics, and very much using it to that potential there. Pied Crow, he is the support that can be such a good playmaker and getting a nice kill onto Deadly Fish. Currently 3 deaths so far, so this Lulu, they are very much targeting her.
Yeah, and I think you should keep doing it because the Zeri is not as strong. I mean, she does have the Mythic with the Triforce, but if you take away the Lulu, what peel and what bonus damage does the Zeri get from her team? The Lilia wants to go forward, the Ornn wants to ult and stay near her, and the Veigar needs to walk a bit forward to do his damage.
Absolutely, and I mean, even though Zeri, she's doing so well, got 2 kills and that 1 assist, 100% kill participation with that tower so well. In fact, actually going to go down, but not before Big Boy Sevo. They want to say something about this. Big Boy Stevo getting a nice bit of damage. Ult comes out from the Lilia, trying to get out. Big Boy Stevo getting a lot of damage on, but the Drowsy comes out, and that's a nice kill for the Zeri. Another pickup for this Zeri, but still 200 gold down on the Talia, but a nice play from Quantify.
Yeah, Pied Crow kind of saying, I'm gonna die for this tower trade. It's something that might be worth in the long run. Doesn't really give up much gold as a support, keeps his Talia alive.
But we see in the bot side, you know, how Quantify know that this tower going down could be so dangerous. The vision that is put down there, they know that Blitzcrank, especially with these Moby boots that he's picked up, is able to just wrap around that jungle, able to get a Zeri who is currently very far positioned up. And with these towers so low on health, they have been very aggressive. You know, a second Rift Herald now coming down from the Sejuani. It's going to be a lot of tower gold coming over to Mystics.
Not only that, you kind of make it easier to put the Swain on a side lane. Leandry's Mercs, a couple of Dark Seal stacks, and a lot of HP. Veigar is not doing any damage right now, and I don't think anyone is besides the Zeri. But do you really want the Zeri in the side lane when an objective is up, especially in top side?
Ooh, the hook goes wide. Event Horizon doesn't. Nice little bit as forced to pop the ult early from the side of Swain. TP coming in from the Ornn will go through as Big Boy Stevo trying to look for a good engage. No ultimate from the Lilia, but the Ornn Horn comes in, lands onto Shen, as Shen is going to be able to take quite a bit of damage. This is good AoE from the side of Quantify. A double kill already for the Veigar. Makes this a super good fight. Zeri using the ult is able to get so much damage. 3 kills now. A shutdown for the Zeri and a beautiful turn there from the side of Quantify.
As I say, the Veigar does no damage, boom, he pops a W and just instantly gets a double kill. Not only that, the Zeri kind of popping up as well, but that a little bit of an item lead.
Yeah, and I was looking in that top side. I thought Mr. Robs was going to be able to maybe try and cancel that TP, maybe with a taunt, but wasn't able to. Able to get the on TP, and then that engage from the fight, able to pick off Mr. Robs as he was trying to dash out. So crucial for the fight. Baited Mystics in, and a 3k means the gold lead back under 1k. This is the game we wanted to see, Kev.
Yeah, and also it just shows that Quantify, you have the Zeri mobility, you have the Lilia mobility, and you also have the Event Horizon, which has a pretty far cast range. They want to step back, and then they want Mystics to just play into them. And then after all of their abilities are gone, they're gonna just fight right back.
Yeah, absolutely. With the range and with the mobility that they can dash in between these skill shots, Zyrex has been playing so well. That hook going wide, and we were talking about this, right? The way this Zeri can play against these skill shots is going to be very mechanically based. You know, Zyrex can throw this game at any point, but if he doesn't, this is going to be very tough for Mystics to get a hold of.
And I also think, like, as I said before, if the game goes out of control, you have to rely on Pycro hitting a hook either on the Lilia or on the Viger or on the Zeri. Just keeping him away from that Lulu.
Big Boy Stevo getting a little bit engaged on, trying to dodge some of the skill shots, but not all of them. Big Boy Stevo actually just going to be one shot here. Ornhorn lands onto 2 as the Zeri's trying to get damage. TP coming in from the Vigo is going to make this a fight. The health bar's getting so low on the front line as they're having to retreat away. Zeri thinks better about fighting the Swain as he goes onto Penumbra Pumpkin. Penumbra Pumpkin is able to go down. Tarius might be next, but Zyrex getting so low onto the backline as that COVID is demolishing the backline. So many kills from this Swain, and this Swain chews through Quantify. A triple kill for the Swain as they turn onto the dragon.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's just a couple of minutes. I think we might be caster cursing a bit. The Zeri just going into the Talia and the Shen with no regard for her life. Drops a shutdown, drops her team, and again, when she's dead and when the Vigar is basically low HP, who's going to kill this Swain? There's no damage. Your Lilia died early, even before the fight kicked off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we saw, I think the idea from Zyrex was that she realized the Zeri couldn't kill the Swain, just so tanky, tried to dash over, and was able to get that kill onto Penumbral Pumpkin, but the Swain, just so much consistent damage, and so much just zone control, making this an impossible fight for Zeri, and yeah, was able to pick up a lovely triple kill, which shows.
Yeah, but also a little bit of cheekiness from the Swain, probably opting into that Imperial mandate. Wants to get his teammates as much involved with that bonus magic damage that gets applied with the slow and the CC that he has from his items and abilities.
Yeah, very much. And unlike if anyone caught Div 2 that I was doing production on Thursday, an Aurelian Soul tried to build a Imperial Mandate, and he was very effective for his team, but dealt absolutely zero damage. So it potentially might help the Zeri. Although it will amplify the team's damage, maybe it'll help Zeri survive a bit longer.
Yeah, but I also think the Swain, I mean, 6, 1, and 4, basically 2.5 items, Merc Treads to survive against the Ornn Lilia and the Vigar. And you want this Talia to keep doing damage. Death Cap completed right after the Ludens gets Magic Pen, gets a lot of AP. Could potentially be another way to one-shot. Just apply the Mandate into the seismic stuff, EQ, you can say bye-bye to any squishy champion.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the vision control. I mean, if I just highlight this, look at how dark that map is on red side. They are looking, I mean, just look at this. Look at how dark this map is from the side of Quantify. Mystics know that they're wanting to get a pick. They're wanting to be able to keep, you know, Quantify guessing, trying to get into an overreach, and if this vision control stays as it is, this could be very dangerous for Quantify Force.
Yeah, it can, because no wards with an objective probably soon to spawn. You don't want to be doing this. The top lane tower, I think, is the objective as
are they trying to go and take down Fox? The ult going wide from Sejuani, trying to burst down a tank. Not going to go well so far. Only one ult used, so not too much there from the Ornn, who did have to burn his flash just to be safe.
The Ornn burns flash, but I also think his team was right there to back him up, and his tower is full HP, and I guess this is that boring top lane, you know, where they just fight over minions, and as I say that,
Yeah, Deadly Fish will only land one onto the Shirelias there, not able to give his team the speed up. We're looking for Mr. Robs, who was overextending as his team was getting into the bot side brush here. We actually see Pydecrow actually looking for the fight, is able to go on to Deadly Fish, trying to just burst down the Lulu, as we see so many times. Ornhorn is lovely as Zyrex trying to turn the fight. This Ruinous Hurricane is dealing so much damage, is 1 down already, 2 down already, now onto the side of Mystics. This is going so well for Quantify Force. 2 down, 3 down, as Zyrex is dealing so much damage. Akovid trying to do what he can, but when there are 4 members of Quantify Force here bearing down on you, actually doing a lot of damage, could they turn this? Akovid using that ult so well, is now a double kill, maybe even a triple kill here on the top side.
Yeah.
It was going so bad, but now it's going so well. The mid lane and bot lane doing so much work with that consistent AP damage, back and forth and back again, as the mid lane and ADC back with an ace from the side of Mystics.
Aquavid for 1 second looks like he doesn't want to fight, then he just turns around, has that sustain, has that slow, and the Talia just gets the free hit Qs. What was going on?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about both this Swain and this Talia as a pick to watch. You know, very much, you know, so flexible, so much AP damage, and look at how they are maximizing it. 9-1-5 and 5-1-6 on these two carries. Just such a dominant performance. However, still only 3k with this Ornn and Vigar scaling as they are.
And also Pydecrow, probably MVP, flashing to get that Lulu out of the fight as quick as possible, eliminating another one of Zeri's peel tools, or I should say minions at this point, 0-5. Not really doing much besides getting caught.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just focusing and targeting down on this Lulu, I think that was a reason for that Milio ban that we saw, making sure that that disengage doesn't get too, like, obnoxious. I think it's been that was a really intelligent ban from Mystics, as we see just punishing this Lulu over and over again. With the map control they've got, that it's certainly showing.
And also, I would like to note, Vigar has the that cap completed. Don't really know about the AP, but I think if Quantify wants to do something with this Vigar, they need to get him that Banshees, they need to get him the Zhonya's, some survivability. Because this man is doing damage, but can't really do much if he just gets picked off.
Oh, it's a lovely bubble onto the side of Taria. Oh, no, sorry, it went onto Penumbral Pumpkin. But yeah, just to talk about those stacks, it's 228 for the side of Vigar, so definitely on his way to that 1000 AP one-shot Night Blue get the camera thumbnail. So yeah, very much do not count Quantify out here, as they're only 3k behind, and with level 14 on Ornn, it means those items now coming through, Lilia getting the first upgrade.
Items are gonna come through, and also I think what Quantify should try to do is try to split these guys up as much as possible, get something with reliable CC against that Shen, probably the Vigar at this point. You also get to stack off of him, and just try to make Mystics not teamfight. You can't teamfight until your Lilia gets at least one more item, or at least that Vigar gets a stopwatch, because if they get caught, this game's over.
Yeah, Quantify were positioning around the Baron, but with perfect vision from the side of Mystics, they were able to just take that Dragon, take that Chemtech, and it's now match point. Soul point for the side of Mystics, as this Chemtech Dragon, when those health bars get low, this damage and health resistance is going to be so good for these team fights.
Quantify, they're really struggling at the moment. I mean, even your Zeri that was ahead is now behind. Your mid laner is definitely behind, and your Lilia is kind of your saving grace with kiting, trying to, I guess, get the attention of the other team as much as possible, and then you're relying on the Zeri and the Vigar to just poke them out.
Yeah, even on the side of the top laners and mid laners, even as well on the side of the ADC and the junglers, but it is in this mid lane. That 2k, almost 3k gold difference from the side. Big Boy Stivo, an interesting flash there, is going to take him right into the team. Ultimate trying to go on to 3, but the CC is so good. Big Boy Stivo getting caught up, and that is not one you want when Dragon up. A lovely catch gives Mystics so much more top jungle control as they turn to the Baron.
Evo, wrong place at the wrong time. Also fails the flash, and kind of not something that you want to do at this stage of the game. You're behind, you can't really do anything as the Talia wall.
Wow. An intelligent wall there, stopping the minions from going into the mid lane. It will go in now, so they're not able to take 2 towers as maybe they were hoping to. But Baron now for the Signs of Mystics, meaning, you know, the claws are certainly wrapping around this Quantify team.
And when you see the items, the Lilia also going for a little bit of more tankiness instead of damage, and the Vigar going for the Void Staff instead of survivability might also be a reason if Quantify lose this game. They're not really trying to play safe, they also just want to go ham, they just want to fight.
Yeah, and we also see that anti-healing coming through on that bot side, trying to deal with this Shen the best. Shen heals as well, but not as much as this Swain, who, you know, just able to take the past few fights so convincingly, pushing down 3 lanes. We talked about this 1-3-1 before stream, and working all 3 lanes with power-empowered minions.
And when you look at that Shen, Radiant Virtue with Abyssal Mask, basically saying this Talia and this Swain are gonna be healthy and they're gonna do damage once the enemy team gets CC'd.
Yeah, and that tower going around. All tier 1s down for the side of Quantify. They're going to look to defend these tier 2s, but with Baron, they might have to retreat to their tier 3s here, as Quantify now at a 5k gold lead. It's not dire, but it's a slow loss for the side of Quantify.
But we have seen teams come back and we have seen teams throw, so it will be interesting up until the end, but I think Frostbite Mythics, they continue to play slow and steady with this Baron, take up as much of the map as possible. I really don't think they can lose this unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, very much playing it safe, playing it calm. They know they've got their dragon, they know they've got the gold advantage, and that Quantify have to go into them, which we were talking about. That is not what Quantify want to do if they're trying to contest these objectives. But yeah, it is going to take a good bit of team play. It is going to take Zirex popping off even more than he already has. See if we can get some support in the chat for Quantify, as they are currently now 6k down.
I think one interesting thing that to note from Quantify, I think as a desperation, they have to pick a side of the map and say, okay, we're gonna put a tent here and we're just gonna wait for somebody to walk in. We're gonna crush him and we're gonna try to win a 4v5 afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this vision, I mean, the vision, the top side very much lit up, but around this dragon, which is spawning in 30 seconds, 0 vision. This is going to be such a tough fight to fight from the side of Quantify. Forces the flash in from Pycro. Does have that Hex Flash, so it's not too bad, but looking for that aggressive play, Cat.
And Crow trying to go for play of the week with that flash hook. He's been doing it all game, but so far, 1 for 1. 1 miss and 1 hit with that flash Q. But he has been playing very well this game. That is no doubt. Those hooks have been clean in the early game, in the mid game. We'll see how they transition into the late game.
Yeah, and they're now turning onto this Dragon Soul. Quantify not wanting to look for it. This is going to be the fight that determines it. Forks walking in, stepping up. It's good. Battle lines as here comes the Ornhorn. Talia Wall will stop the fight for a second as it stops Forks' engage, actually. Keeping Quantify as a nice distance here as Echo Vid pops the ult. Here it goes from the side of Quantify. Deadly Fish getting killed once again, as it's Big Boy Stever, who's down already. Zirex trying to do the most he can, but this Echo Vid, his Swain does not die. A triple kill from the side, a quadra kill, and Hitari wants that ace. I know she is calling out in comms that this wants to be her kill. A pentakill for the side of Talia makes it an ace from the side of Mystics.
Quantify just walks in and says, we want the fight, we don't want you to get the soul. It's not really a big important soul, Quantify. You can still have a chance even if they get it, but right now you just give 5 kills over, you give the soul over anyway, and you might even give the game away at this point.
Very much the inhibitor towers being knocked on. I'm expecting at least 1 or 2 inhibs going down here. And I mean, they just didn't have the vision. They were looking to fight in somewhere that they already knew. I think going down mid lane, they had mid prio. I think just barreling it down there and buying time would have been a lot better. But Quantify take the fight. It results them almost 10k down now.
Looking really grim, it's looking maybe impossible. But if some teams are known for anything, It's for their playstyle. Quantify. They're the second best team. Can
Oh
they
my...
make the...
This Lulu's already dead. Stop trying to kill her. She's not had a fun time this game. Deadly Fish just died, 6 times. So much. Fox using the Ornhorn trying to get a little bit of space. In fact, Penumbral Pumpkin stunned up here probably could mean that this jungler goes down, but this Sejuani so tanky with this Radiant Virtue and Force of Nature, because we do have a little bit of a stutter. Apologies for that, folks. God, they want this Quantify. They want to try and turn the game. The ball down mid lane will go onto Penumbral Pumpkin. The ultimate will come down as well from the side of Lilia, but with those Merc Treads, just not enough CC. Running it down mid lane as Cassandra gets picked off. Oh, this has just gone from bad to worse from the side of Quantify. And Mystics get a kill as well, not only to get those resets in, but if you see on the minimap, the minions are now in the base, those super minions, and Mystics... Quantify, sorry, have to respond.
The Vigar biting a bit off more than he can chew in that last fight. Just standing in front of Pitecore, he said, "Don't mind if I do, I'll just take you to my team and we'll send you back to Fountain as quick as possible."
It was a really good idea. I honestly, I saw this mid game, maybe some mistakes were played, but I really did like this from Quantify. But I want to question this Swain and Talia, which I definitely think will be getting responded to. Such strong picks that we talked about, and even with the magic damage, magic resist that Quantify have come out with, it is not stopping this team from snowballing Quantify.
Yeah, but when you look at the items, your magic resist is on the Ornn and the Lilia. Your Vigar doesn't have Mercs, he doesn't have the Banshees or the item that goes into Banshees for MR. Your Zeri also has no MR. It's basically just hoping their carries, Zeri and the Vigar, hoping that Lilia and Ornn tank enough for them to do enough damage and survive.
Yeah, maybe a second tank, maybe something a bit more engaging would have been better here. But yeah, I mean... I think something like the Amumu, or, I think the Fiora as well, from the side of Mr. Robs, I think that can definitely be taken away. For the fact that, as you're playing a tank anyway, I don't think he's going to be able to exploit this as much as people have said. But yeah, I mean, it is, 2 inhibitors down. Quantify trying to defend this last one, but sieging from Mystics has always been very good. But the Ornhorn coming out. This is what Quantify want to fight. This is where the fight is going to happen. Oh my god, Cyrex getting taken so low already. Trying to get down. Penumbra Pumpkin trying to follow. But it's Blitzcrank who get taken down. But here comes a COVID. Dealing so much damage. Going godlike right now. Ornn going down onto the top side. It is Quantify in full retreat. It's a double kill. It's a triple kill. It's a... Cool. No, it's not. Swain steals the Quadra, but it is an ace nonetheless. And it is the base that is going down for Quantify as it's 1-0 in the series.
Such a dominating game for Frostbite Mythics in this last fight. The Zeri just stepping up for no reason, getting seismic shoved right to the fountain, and that is a GG from the side of Frostbite.
Oh my god, to be fair, I'm very much loving how this series was going. In the early game, we saw such a back and forth. We saw so much playing around, but I think the vision control was very much there from the side of Mystics. I think the shot calling, and it kind of fell away, especially as we went over to that game. Just Quantify, talk us through that one, because, Quantify getting beat up there in 37 minutes.
Quantify, they had the good ideas, their execution was just poor. I think they were just anxious, maybe a little bit, pressing their buttons too early. We saw a couple of Ornn ults just going off maybe too early, even before the fight starts, especially at that Soul Point fight. It just did absolutely nothing. The Vigar ults coming in a bit too early because they had no real damage. Yes, you have the Zeri who has to stand in the backline and wait for everyone else to die so she can do everything in the fight afterwards. And even then, she's stuck in a 1v4 or 1v3 situation.
Absolutely, and I mean, I really do have to question maybe some of these bans. I think I'd love to see Quantify maybe change it up a little bit. As also, if you could give me an invite to the lobby, or if anyone listening to could, invite us over. But yeah, I mean, Mystics, we see this so much. We've seen this against Mayhem. We've seen this against all the games they've played. This short range, Swain and Talia and those flex picks, so dominant. Yeah, it's going to be very tough. Quantify Force going to have to crack the code here in Game 2.
I want to see Quantify on something more comfortable for them this draft. Yes, it was really good, but also I want to see some more front to back. I want them to say, okay, if Frostbite's gonna go into us, we're just gonna go into them. Let's see who has the stronger fights, who has the better mechanics, as I've been saying even before game one. Get in their head as fast as possible.
Absolutely, as I think we are gonna go to a quick break, but don't go away, because when we're back, it's the Super Week of Quantify Force looking to bring it back against Frostbite Mystics. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after that banger of a game one, going to 37 minutes, Frostbite Mystics, which I haven't corrected in the screen, it is still 0-1. There we go, should be corrected now. But yeah, what a game from the side of Mystics. We do see just a little bit of information before we bring Ket back in. It is blue side that Big Boy, Stevo, and the Forks Quantify team have chosen, which will be interesting for drafting. If my... Yes, 1 second. I think you're muted again. Oh.
I am just currently thinking about what really Quantify want to do. They kind of got stomped after that mid game here, and the question is, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back to this kind of front to back team comp, or do you also just want to say, hey, we're gonna match you blow for blow? You want to go all in, we will go all in. But also, I think just get rid of the tanks, man. Please, we want to see some clean fighting. None of that or none of that Shen.
Yeah, none of that. As 1 second, as we just need to update the just need to update the website just so that we have all of the right on the side of stream. But yeah, just talk to me about, maybe not in terms of players, as we will be getting into draft just a second. But yeah, talk to me about maybe how you'd like to see the draft change, maybe from the side of Quantify.
Honestly, Quantify, you have to pick your poison. Do you want to get rid of the Swain or the Talia? Because I think some of the other picks you have to keep away from Frostbite. And I also think that you have to as I said, you have to pick a lane that you have to focus, whether it be top, mid, or bot. Just Stevo needs to sit in that lane, make sure that lane is ahead, and then just try to go in basically a 3 versus 5, and then you have 2 supports on the other side of the map helping you out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I keep going back to the fact that Lulu was just, Deadly Fish was just getting picked off again and again and again. I think that very much that Mystics knew what they wanted to do, targeting this support. It worked really well. I think if you want to go back something to like the hyperscaling bot lane, you're going to need something with a bit more agency. The Milio got banned, but just something that may be a bit more safer, perhaps? I don't know. What are you thinking, Kat, as we almost go into this game 2?
I mean, I think if you want to go for that safe hyperscaling AD carry with a mage, I think you just have to get rid of the hook champions. Pied Crow just hitting hook after hook, maybe making one or two missteps, but in the end it didn't really matter as he just completely demolished, especially with those flash hooks in the mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, just credit absolutely to Mystics. You know, both of these organizations joined at the same time at the start of season 13, you know, and I've just bought, you know, so many teams. You know, we've got teams in all three, well, should be all three divisions. However, Div 4 was cancelled. So we have Quantify Nova joining us here in Div 3. But you know, these teams have just, these orgs have grown so massive so quickly, and have been able to field, you know, 15 people, you know, teams into VL. It's amazing to have these two spar, and at the level that they are, honestly, I cannot wait to get into game 2 here.
Honestly, I can't wait for game 2 as well, and I want to see big boy Stevo. I want to see him on something that's just gonna say, okay guys, hop on my back, I will just run through them for you, and I want you to back me up as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see what was Penumbra Pumpkin playing that time. Was it, what was he playing again?
Juani?
Sejuani, Jarvan is what goes to my mind. Like, especially with a weak top and bot side, a weak top and jungle, I feel like getting in the face of Penumbral Pumpkin, making sure he can't get this vision control that was so good from the side of Mystics. I feel like getting in the face of the jungler and making sure that these lanes aren't as well supported and haven't got that cohesion together. I think, especially if he gets something like a Mumu, Penumbral Pumpkin, that it can be quite weak early on. I think that can be very much punished by, yeah, Big Boy Stevo, the absolute carry himself.
Yeah, I think he's their focal point. He's the guy that you want to play around mostly. And I want to say something interesting. If Stevo can play a Graves or a Kha'Zix with some hyper-aggressive laners, it would be very interesting given the fact that he can just invade and have his mid laner, his bot laners, or his top laner just help him out and get Penumbral Pumpkin out of his jungle.
Yeah, and that isolation damage, maybe against Swain, I've seen Kha'Zix builds that can be very more like bruisery and damage over time, could really help in taking down that Swain that was just so oppressive. Or just completely bypassing it, making sure to get rid of the, you know, Taria first. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about how much Mystics like to talk a bit of rubbish, like to talk, you know, a big game, but they're certainly bringing it, and it's what you love to see, Kat.
And I love to see it. I want to see these power picks come out as much as possible. But Quantify, you need to eliminate them. You have to make them play something that they're not comfortable on, smash them, and then say, we're going to make you play it again, and we're going to stomp you again just to prove our point.
Absolutely. As just a little bit of information on the other side, we won't go to the screen as we are just about to get into draft now, but it is Frostbite Mayhem who have lost the first game against Grace Light Violet. Gonna need to try and bring it back, you know, but we are into draft now. Hopefully it all going well. Lulu not being picked already. But yeah, into draft now. Both teams with all their bans. Is Ari now taken off by Quantify?
I think that also shows that they don't want a strong mid laner on one side and the Cho'Gath ban coming out, I guess, for the flex of top mid.
Yep, and I mean, we talked about it, you know, it has been picked almost every game by the side of Quantify, and every game they played bar one, super strong flex, and with the Ivan ban, look, if it worked last game from Mystics, it's gonna work this time.
Yeah, and the Swain just instantly going off on third ban. They kind of want to say, hey, we were okay against Talia, not so much okay against the Swain. That damage, that sustain, the CC, too much for the side of Quantify.
Absolutely, but when you drop the Amumu ban, being first picked up by... Wait, Quantify are picking up the Amumu, denying that flex pick from the side of Mystics, and yeah, running it back to the Talia that got that pentakill in the first game.
Yeah, but now maybe Talia said, hey, I had my Talia spotlight, I'm gonna give it to my mid laner now as double AP drafted here, Maokai and Talia. It also secures the Maokai at least that seismic shove hit with the CC combo of WQ, the twisted advance into the knockback.
you have to be thinking here from the side of Quantify that, especially with a Mumu, your tank shown, a fairly tanky, can also be that sort of hybrid of AP and tankiness. You've got to be thinking, we need to draft more tank, and because you cannot go full AP so early now that you know what's going on.
Yeah, and also I love the Zaya coming out able to get away from the CC of the Maokai and the Talia with that ultimate. And no, please, do not take the Sion.
Oh, it's happening. 4 seconds, it will come out. Was banned out in the second phase, and it is picked up. Top lane blind here from the side of Forks. Mr. Rob's not with the Fiora, but will get a nice counter pick. What do you think is going to come up here?
I think the Ornn obviously would be the safest choice, but yeah, as I say that, we're gonna get another top lane that's gonna be non-interactive and non-fun for the first 15 or so minutes of the game.
Banging my head against the desk right now because I cannot be.
Don't worry, maybe we get the Baus, maybe we get that AD Sion running around.
God, that would be so good. It would be big drilling. Yeah, the Jarvan coming out as well, very much saying that they don't want those aggressive junglers in the early game, don't want this Zaya, Amumu bot lane that could be so strong at levels 1 and 2. Interesting here from the side of Mystics.
And they're treating this Amumu as a flex pick, which it is, but I would not pair it maybe with the Zaya. The Rakan is still open as well, which is interesting. And the Sylas getting rid of...
You could understand it. Sion, Amumu ult, that Curse of the Sad Mummy could be so big in fights. Banning away the... this is a little pocket pick from the side of Cassandra. This Anivia can have so much zone control and very long range, which could work very well into the kind of playstyle that Mystics like. I like these two bans from the side of Mystics, as we're just about to get into second phase.
There's the Misfortune ban, also something that Thuria played during this split, and the Braum coming out maybe suggesting that the Talia is for sure going into the mid lane.
Yeah, what a beefy frontline that we've got. On Maokai and Braum, I would be sending every single player to make sure that these carries do not get off their damage. As such a traditional front to back here, very different, well, somewhat different than the game 1 we saw from Mystics Cat.
And now Quantify, what do you do? Do you want to match them, or just want to split the map? And they go for the Blitzcrank.
Let's go. I mean, Deadly Fish saw how good Pydecrow could whip it out in the first game, and he wants a bit of that action. He's looking for the play of the week, and by golly, he's got the champ to do it. Deadly Fish looking to
saying anything you can hook, I can hook better.
Yeah. I'd love to see that as maybe going back to what is almost her namesake, Cassiopeia. I think this could be really good. Syndra insta lock-in.
It's still the Talia bot lane, which is very interesting because I do not think it has that much synergy with the Braum, but we'll see. Maybe Frostbite can make it work.
I have seen the Syndra be flexed into the bot lane as well. I think I remember seeing that with Syndra Thresh. That Mystics, as we do see them maybe hover it, I don't know the exact rules. I know in LEC it's 20 seconds. As you can see, they are going back and forth. But there is no Swain this time. There is no, damage over time. This is all AP again from the side of Mystics. And with 3 frontliners, I want to say it looks better for Quantify.
It looks better for Quantify. You have the Zaya that just shreds tanks with her E, and she has the ult to just keep herself safe, and also the Cassiopeia can just shred through the Ornn, the Maokai, and the Braum very easily. And you have Sion and Amumu who can just build full tank, full MR, because, again, full AP. Maybe it worked last time, not so sure about this game though.
Yeah, especially, there's no Shen this time. That Miasma from Cassiopeia can buy so much space. Although, Syndra and Talia are very deadly pick combo, but there isn't a Blitzcrank. There isn't, a Shen or something that can go in and pick a Sejuani. Ornn, Braum, and, well, Maokai can. But these are very disengaged champs, sit up and scale. And I feel like Syndra and Talia aren't going to have that setup that they might want. I don't want to bet against Mystics 2 times as a row, as they are my team's namesake. You know, they are my team, but I'm very much liking Quantify's draft here. I actually think we might get a game 3 here, Kat.
And Quantify basically have, I guess, insurance policies because the Maokai E or the Maokai ultimate, you can just block it with the Amumu and the San and all the follow up, and then you have the Cassiopeia again, laying the Miasma, the Petrifying Gaze, you have the Zaya ultimate, and then you have just Blitzcrank just walking up in front of all of those champions and saying hello and just grabbing one of the carries from the side of Frostbite.
Yeah, that's one way. That's one way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely. And oh my god, I just cannot wait. I mean, I still think, you know, as much as I do think the Amumu works here, and but I do agree with the first pick. I do want to see, you know, if we do get a game 3, and maybe to any teams who want to beat Mystics. Just something maybe punishing these, you know, mid to late scaling junglers that Penumbral Pumpkin brings out a lot. He's also very bad with invades, and like just, just, you know, trying to maybe challenge this, you know, team fight and the team building that, you know, credit to Mystics, they have aced every game that we've seen.
Yeah, and also I want to say something for Big Boy Steve. Oh, just go bot lane, sit in the bush. I don't care for how long. Get your Zaya ahead because she is going to be a really big problem for the other side. Again, so much self-peeling with that ultimate, with the feathers. I really don't see how they can get on top of her unless Syndra hits a magical QE or the Ornn or the Maokai just get a crazy ultimate off.
Yeah, first item, Lord Dominic's Zaya. You know, just do it. Just understand your role and know. But I'm not actually too well versed on the Zaya builds, especially with like the ADC items. That, you know, it was basically like a Riot manifesto reading through that goddamn patch notes. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they build. Obviously, he's so ballsy from the side of Mystics, you know, on the match, the super week against your probably your toughest opponents, to go all AP into 3 tanks. I cannot wait to get this under folks. Spam who you think, you know, do you want a game 3 or do you want Mystics to just go 5-0? You know, what are your thoughts? Let us know. Also, follow us at VL. Follow us on our Twitter. We've got so many plans for staff and for content that might be coming out. If you know our VL channel, we might be bringing some stuff back. But in the meantime, we have got a game on our hands, Ket. Who are you voting for? Who you think's winning this one?
Honestly, I want Quantify to show their signs of life. I want them to just come into this game with their head held high and then just saying, hey, we came here to win and we're to prove it. Game 1 was a fluke. We're just gonna jump back like it never happened and we're gonna try and stomp you guys.
Absolutely, as we are now in game, loving my computer now. Big up, is it Microsoft? I don't even know. Okay, do you want to sync up timers? I'm currently at 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm at 15 as well.
Hell yeah! All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. God, we are so synced up right now. As I will just zoom out a little bit. Honestly, the zooming out like tech that you see on like LEC, I'm using it now, and oh my god, it's so nice.
How much easier it makes you see everything that is going around, even some sneaky plays as sign of Quantify stacking in that bush.
I don't know if you can say, oh, a lovely little hook here. I come in having to flash out. I'm sorry, I'm currently in the moon right now in terms of my camera positioning. I'm like, I don't know if you can watch stream. I'm currently looking over the entire rift. Do you want to just keep it like this, chat? Is this what you want? Is this the high? Is this the gameplay that you came to see? Is this the spectator? I don't know. Let's maybe zoom into a bit more of a realistic angle.
They call it the bird's eye view, but I think that camera, that is the NA airplane view that you get from international events.
Oh my god, I was actually able to see, I've only been to one Riot event, as we have Fox who is he is reconnected, never mind. Oh, I think we got a pause there, folks, but because we are on a delay, it means that oh, we've got a huge little bit of lag here from my side. Apologies, folks.
As well.
Oh, you've got it as well. Yeah, I think it's the pause timer, maybe just catching up with itself. But if we actually just look at this bot lane here, we've got Braum and Taria looking for maybe a little level 1 Braum. Again, with that passive, going to be so powerful. But, you know, it's VL. We're playing around bot side, and both junglers starting up this top side cat.
As well, do you want to sync up again due to the lag spike coming in unannounced?
Oh, yeah, I'm at 151, 52.
Yeah, okay, we are fine.
Oh, yeah.
We have that synergy early on.
Yeah, that's what I love to see. Honestly, I think anyone in chat can agree. You've honestly, for your first time casting, this has been amazing. Loving your energy, and yeah, big ups to Ket in the chat. Doing this last minute as well. Obviously, we want to say while we have this time, Deadly Fish, please don't make this interesting. Josh was not able to do this last minute. You might know him as a Lee Spider. He currently had something with his girlfriend, which meant he couldn't be this. We're wishing him and his girlfriend all well at this time. But yeah, we've got our League 2 cast, and we thank you so much, Ket, for being here.
And honestly, it's been a wonderful time so far, and hopefully game 2 is interesting. And we will continue to ignore the top lane as, again, 2 tanks, jungle 2 tanks. I just want to see some mayhem, at least in one of these games.
Hey, join my team. We're literally, that's what we're called. It was the idea behind our names. Like, what are we gonna call the Div 4 team that is just gonna be absolute chaos? Oh yeah, we'll just call them Frostbite Mayhem. And thus the meme team of Crinky and all the guys I manage was born. But alas, let's not talk about the teams that aren't in this game. Let's talk about the teams that are. Currently, you know, going back and forth, not too much of a lead going on right now, and still with no kills. Cassandra getting some nice bit of damage, but a COVID showing why he's one of the strongest mid laners. That scatter of the week, taking him very low.
Ooh.
A nice hook there from Deadly Fish, you know, maybe saying to Pypro, look, you know, I am the Braum, I am the Blitzcrank. You know, able to, you know, maybe show him up here, and I can't wait to see what Deadly Fish can do on this cat.
Yeah, I think Pypro heard him and said, I'm not playing Lulu, unfortunately. I'm playing Braum. You can hook me all you want. I'm gonna tank up the damage and make sure my ADC, or APC in this case, is safe as top lane.
Top lane, actually, yeah, I was looking at mid lane, but it's going so low. It's a 3v2 on the side of mid lane. Big Boy Stevo trying to get the damage. It's a first plays onto the Ornament for the top side, but Pypro does not go down. This unstoppable wall has been so good, and Penumbral Pumpkin's looking to clean up. It's already a kill onto the side of the jungler. Zyrex having to flash out, but Penumbral Pumpkin getting lower self-ignite coming out from the side of Deadly Fish. One also will do it. No flash from the side of Zyrex as what? What is that health? 4 HP. That is insane. I'm sorry, that's rubbish. But they're able to get away with it. 2 kills to the side of Mystics.
Yeah, but I just want to say, this is what I want to see. This is the early game mayhem that I want to see. These fights going up in the top lane, even though they're playing tanks. But also, I think Zirad just not popping the ghost at all during that fight, making sure, I guess, Penumbral Pumpkin lives on 4 HP. Might be a blunder here for the Zaya in the early game.
Yeah, gotta make sure, you know, you gotta save it. It's like we were talking about the NA airplane. Well, it's the NA Flash that's maybe coming back for the, you know, the EU Ghost. But yeah, as why, yes, I don't even have chat, and I know that you're spamming me to bring up the goddamn scoreboard. So here it is, a nice little 1k lead from the side of Mystics. Hopefully this game goes on a bit longer, and again, when this MR starts coming, it'll be very interesting. But Syndra now already a level ahead. This isn't looking good, Cat.
It's not looking good. I mean, the Syndra are really good into the Cassiopeia. You outrange her, and whenever the Cassiopeia hits Q and wants to go in as...
Yeah, that's a flash. And a good flash there, I think, Cat, as well. Very, very preemptive.
Yeah, and this is what we call caster cursing. You praise him 1 second, and the next he's just blowing a flash as top lane again.
Oh god, Forks actually might do, with the level 6 from the... Oh, that did not look right, but Riot Games said it was. And yeah, very well onto the side of Mr. Robs. Talia in the chat, pinging him, showing that it was a good play. We'll be taking that off because I know Mystics, and I know maybe having chat disabled might be for the best.
Yeah, this is why we love wholesome top laners. Their kits are just so broken, they don't deserve a hit. They don't even need a hitbox. It's just gonna hit anyway.
Yeah, that was... I'm sorry, that was a bit disgusting. Maybe it was a replay error, but yeah, with this so much control and, you know, early pressure that we've got from the side of Mystics, a COVID going to cancel that back as well. It is Mystics who are looking for this dragon, if I can understand how this works. Sorry, just getting control around it.
Fox kind of getting punished twice. This is what happens when you play tank Sion. Just play AD Sion. Be a bit risky.
Absolutely, and I mean, I will, credit to where it's due. Forks very much the subbing in for. Why did I say his name when I don't even know who was the mid laner? Sorry, top laner for these guys before. I've completely forgotten. Well, it doesn't matter. Sir Echovid actually maybe getting gone on here. Big Don Stevo doing a lot of damage, and that is a nice kill for the Amumu, looking to get the team back in the game.
Caster Curse strikes again. We talk about Fox not performing, and then he just shows up in mid lane and says, "Hey, you're dead. My jungler gets a kill."
Yeah, Mystics trying to trade that one back. Wait, if the Caster Curse is very strong this game, I think Penumbra Pumpkin is playing so well. I think his Maokai has just been popping off. I actually think we're never going to get another close game from the side of Mystics ever again. And yeah, we do see them pick up the first dragon, looking to maybe stack those objectives, which they were able to do in the last game.
Yeah, and I think they're showing a really dominant early game. Apart from that death from Syndra, but again, you see her up a lot of CS, showing a lot of dominance in lane as well.
Yeah, Cassandra just very low on mana. You see why the tier and Lost Chapter picking up. Cassandra can beat Cassandra. Cassiopeia is just such a mana-hungry champion. Very powerful when you get that mana immune, that Seraph's Embrace. Can be very powerful, but you gotta get there, and Mystics don't want to let them get.
And that's one thing about, as a Cassiopeia player, that mana management in the early game. When do you want to trade with your QEs? When do you just want to last hit minions with your E? It's all about what you want to do and what your team wants to do.
Yeah, those Twin Fangs, as you see Pydecrow coming into the mid lane. The reason for that, folks, is they are looking to transfer this into the first Rift Herald. So you see 4 members on this top side. Actually, Cassandra got on quite a bit here. 2 more procs of the passive will do it. 1 more auto will do it. A good stun. But has Pydecrow gone in a bit too much? Curse of the Sad Mummy goes through. And it's already 1 down from the side. Forks coming in with that rampage. Going onto Penumbral Pumpkin will stop. Oh, the flash from Stevo was a nice try, but Akovid is able to dodge out the way. It's 2 people now onto this Rift Herald. They're looking to reset it, but it's not how the Rift Herald works. As they are now pulling it out of range, but Forks is wanting to keep this going. Big Boy Stevo now his hit on the fight. We might see a little bit of a smite fight, but it does now reset. And yeah, what I see to have traits. Ket, talk us through it.
I mean, Pydecrow kind of thinking that he's Hylissang, but he has no ignite, he has heal. There's no way that you kill Cassiopeia there, even if you proc your passive. And Stevo is there, he has his ultimate with Amumu, and the Cassiopeia has ult as well. You kind of just flash into your own death at that point.
So he very much does think he's Hylissang. With the Rift Herald being started once again, I think Shelly is going to get a bit annoyed, probably just wanting to accept the mercy of death at this point. But it looks like this will go over to Mystics. And again, once again, do you want to see this over to Echovid? Or do you want to see this DPS on this bot lane? Where do you want this Rift Herald going?
I think at this point, you should keep it where your lane is having an advantage. Bot lane currently, I mean, Pydecrow is leaving Talia under tower. She's down about 10-13 CS, and your mid laner is up about roughly the same amount. You just want the Syndra, I think, ahead as much as possible, because Cassiopeia, she does scale as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of Cassiopeias in my... Well, yeah, because I'm addicted to League of Legends, as we all are. Forks, Rob's maybe wanting to give him a 3rd death onto that, but, you know, they are 2 tanks. Yeah, that's top lane in a nutshell.
Top laners, what happened to Bruisers, where my Darius is the Camille's, the Olafs.
My beloved. I actually like, it's certainly He's the guy who designed Yasuo. His first ever champion was Darius, and at the time it was considered like so broken, as we see a lovely trade there from Akovid. But now we're like in this situation, it's like, please, a Darius, you know, something that gives us a bruiser, you know. Certainly shows you maybe the dynamics of how League perceives their own champions.
Riders, they love balancing champions, but on the wrong way as lane as well. Like, Fox is just losing these trades constantly, forced to back away, and Will Robs actually be a really important part? Might even a carry at this point.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, 2 kills on the Ornn, not usually who you want it on, but it could be very useful. I mean, if Cassiopeia and Xayah don't get too far ahead, as we see a plate go over for Robs as well, it could actually be a very unkillable Ornn. And as I actually love Mr. Robs, because we're on the same team, we talk a lot, and one of the founding members as well. And if he can really show his worth in this game, as we see Forks, a lovely little trap underneath the tower, getting 4 tower shots, but it doesn't matter, does it? As the Ornhorn used as well. Pydecrow actually getting a little bit caught out. Pydecrow going down to, wow, that was some damage on the side of Amumu, shutting down the Pydecrow, who is just doing his best in Hillisang impression.
I know sometimes he says it was a good death, but here Pydecrow kind of dies for nothing. He sets up maybe 1 ward and that's it. Not really what you want to be doing at an early stage of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Quantify pulling this back, only 200 gold behind, I thought I was so dreading it after seeing this early game, but now we've got a game again. And, with the Ornn actually going through, it will get stopped. But why is that? It's because there was maybe a little bit of a fight. The Hawk going on to the Syndra is good, but the Brambles coming out is going to mean that Deadly Fish, the flash into nowhere, not going to do much. Cassandra actually taking the entirety of Talia's Qs, but here comes Xerax, getting a 2-man stun off the Curse of the Sad Mummy as Penumbral Pumpkin goes down. Not before taking a Mumu as well, as the shutdown goes to the side of COVID. And with all of that said and done, a bloody fight, a 2-for-2 in favor of no one but Mr. Robs getting those plates.
Yep, and really good team fighting front to back, at least. The Xayah coming in clutch from the side as well, and Cassandra, I think, got a little bit too excited, flashed over the wall and didn't really get to do anything afterwards.
Yeah, it was certainly a nice try. Also, we saw in game 1, I love this improvement from Mr. Robs. We saw, I believe it was Forks who TP'd straight down, and Robs' Shen was not able to cancel it. We see that it being improved in game 2 here. We see just TPs in the straight, in the face. Mr. Robs needs to think a little bit, wasn't the most immediate, but able to get that TP cancelled, which could have spelt disaster for Mystics.
Yeah, but Fox also not even going out of vision to try and TP, he just stood there in front of him saying, hey, cancel me if you can.
And he did.
And Robs replied with, aye, of course he did.
Yeah, as we see the second dragon up now, I forgot my timers because I'm such a good producer. My production is honestly, it's so good. As we see an ult coming down here from the side of Sion, barreling down the mid lane, everyone getting out of the jungle. Did a little bit of a clip there. I thought I saw the Sion, like, the wall hack that you see from, like, when they go through the jungle. But with 5 members here, and Mr. Robs without TP walking down the top lane, Quantify is starting off the dragon here.
I think they want to fight right after this Drake, because Quantify, where are you gonna go? Oh, they're just gonna go bot. No Talia ult there, and no twisted advance use from the Maokai means Quantify just get to leave for free.
We saw this in the last game that Quantify was so they put so much value on stopping this dragon stacking from the side of Mystics, and it's worked. But they want to get something out of this Mystics. A hook from onto Pydecrow, and the follow-up from Amumu is a lovely idea. Wow, he's able to get out so well with that safeguard. Mr. Rob's looking very low in the middle of this. Big Boy Stevo might be going down, but oh, this could be a disaster. Penumbra pump count, but the petrifying gaze goes wide. Forks looking for something more. The flash going in and the knock up onto 2. It could be so good, but here comes Xerax. A lovely kill. The ultimate from the side of Syndra does not go down. A 3k from the side. More even from the side of a COVID. The poison ticking her down, but Cassandra will pay for that overextension. A 3-for-1 in favor of Quantify as they take the gold lead.
Yeah, as we said before, Deadly Fish saying anything you can hook, I can do better, and Pydecrow replying, maybe if you can int, I can int a little bit better, just getting caught again and again and again.
Yeah, and I mean, we see, I think it was at this same moment as well, that was a flash from Taria, maybe looking for that Q flash, didn't go anyway, and a flash out of Taria, that's going to be significant in these fights coming up.
Especially if you catch out. Does have that cleanse, but realistically, if the Blitzcrank hooks you, that cleanse is a bit useless.
Oh, as we see a nice little bit of engage. Big boy Stevo, I don't know if that's the person you want to land it on. No Curse of the Sad Mummy, but Tarrier is already taken down. It's a 1-for-1 though, as Braum is looking to maybe disengage. The hook goes wide from Deadly Fish. Maybe could have turned that a bit further. A 1-for-1, and the red buff goes on to who even knows. But yeah, it was a good fight, and Quantify maintained the gold lead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go out there and say that I think Stevo, even though he missed that Q, landing on the Syndra. But ends up going pretty well.
Yeah, ends up working in the end. I mean, you know, it's, you know, you failed successfully. Very much so. But as we just look in the mid lane, you see so much pressure that tower going so far down. But I'm happy here if I'm Quantify. I've got my 2 carries that have got kill participation. They've got gold. We see Xayah having a bounty, working towards that 2 item. You're feeling good here if you're Quantify.
And I'm basically telling my team, just stand in front of me, take up as much damage as possible, and let me poke them out, and then let me pull my feathers right through their souls, doing so much damage. Kraken Surge completed, going, I believe, into the Navori Quick Blades, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's a good shout. Yeah, I do believe that is correct, especially because Noon Quiver now no longer builds into any mythics. I think that BF Blade very much building into that. I think the decreased cooldown on a lot of Xayah's abilities is going to make her so slippery, going to give her a lot of peel, especially against these 3 tanks that want to chase her down. And yeah, this Xayah, if she's able to get so very far ahead, Deadly Fish doing Deadly that's a nice minion. That is a nice minion, but is it as valuable as maybe a kill here? Deadly Fish maybe being taken out, but is able to get underneath the tower. A TP from Forks is playing it safe, but it will allow Mr. Robs on the top side able to get that turret down.
Uh-oh.
Oh god, Pycro, the safeguard will take him to safety though, and it's first tower blood onto the side of this Ornn, who is now currently, if I do some quick maths, only 700 gold ahead, but that's not insignificant.
And Robs should just keep doing what he's doing, be that wholesome top laner as much as possible, be annoying, and then when it's time to team fight, he can just ult from halfway across the map. That's not a really big problem for him.
Absolutely. Oh, we see the Rift Herald. We saw that being held for a very long time as it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I leant back in my chair and it completely messed up the camera. But we see the... Oh, Forks actually coming in. A TP coming in from the mid laner as well. This is the fight that they want. And the Curse of South Mummy onto 3 means this is a double kill for the side of a Moomin. Super big from the side. A COVID trying to make it back. Trying to make anything work. A hook or a chain going wide. A flash from Deadly Fish. Wanting that play of the game. But with the CC and the disengage from the side of Mystics, it will be 2 kills to 0. A lovely pick from the side of Quantify.
Such a good CC chain coming from Fox and Big Boy Stevo. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Just keep them locked in place as much as possible and then have your Xayah and your Cassiopeia do the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. An ult coming in from Mr. Robs, but does his team want this? Is the 3v5 as the team looking very passive, maybe trying to get out. Scatter of the Week is there, trying to maybe get something, but here comes Tarrier joining the fight. Mystics don't want to give this up, and especially with the items, but it doesn't matter. Pipecrow going in, and with the ultimate takes down one already. Sidecross is able to take safe with the Feather's Call, but with Cassandra going down as well, a double kill for the side of Syndra, this powerful mid laner who's doing so much already. Can he get the triple kill? No, it goes to the side of the Talia, and with that all said and done, a dragon for the side of Mystics.
Quantify, they had everything they wanted. They got the tower, and then they just say, hey, maybe we can get something more, and it's costing them severely. And Pipecrow, again, doing a Hillesang, just flashing in with no regard for his life, ends up paying off this time.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you don't succeed, try it again. And, well, it's certainly working for Pipecrow now, bringing the gold lead down, folks. Look at this, 200 gold. That is incredible. Hang on, yeah, everyone can see stream. Okay, I'm just making sure that I wasn't like, hang on, I'm just making sure. Yeah, okay, I think we're okay. Yep, okay. I just wanted to make sure. We usually have some technical difficulties here, Ket, but I don't think any so far. As yeah, a very good stream so far.
And I think Quantify want to keep the Xayah now as safe as possible. He's kind of your only safe option to do damage. And the Navori completed along with the Kraken Slayer and the boots. You are ahead and you want to use it as much as possible and make sure the Syndra can't ult her and none of the tanks can just get on top of her.
Absolutely. As while we have a little bit of downtime, just a little bit of news from the other games. Mayhem actually have been 2-0 swept by Gracelight Ruby, looking to place them now third and best of the rest in terms of the group. But we're back to this game and an early dragon here. What do you think about this, Cat?
I think they're trying to sneak it, they don't have vision. Control ward is blocking it and the Zaya just deals so much damage paired with the Cassiopeia.
Wow, a bold move, but,
away.
yeah, bold move, but a correct one. A nice Baron there is going to give them a lot of D-push and a lot of maybe split push potential, especially with that Sion now in the bot lane, is going to have such a more potent little split push here. With Zaya correcting the minions, that's a brilliant macro play from the side of Quantify.
I mean, that's the Zaya, that's your carry. Whatever she wants, I think the team should do, regardless of the situation. Just have to keep her so far ahead as Kilo.
Big boy Stevo, a lovely flash ult there, but it won't get much. But the hook will land as well. I don't think the safeguard is it. It's not. Pipe Crow goes down. The TP from Sion. Oh, it's all going to kick off now, as right now it is now Penumbra Pumpkin looking to run for his life. But here comes the Sion going on to Taria, and Taria's down. It's only the Syndra left in terms of carriers. Cydrex is so far forward, but low as well. Can the Scatter of the Weak get a lot of damage? No, it can't. There's no kills going down. Wiz able to get one onto the side of the Zaya, but 4 kills and a Baron could be disastrous for Mystics.
That's an ace for Quantify, and I think Xerix maybe can live there, but the Syndra just pressing ultimate, that outplay button, and taking him down to 100 HP is really insane.
Yeah, I think if Zaya was able to stay alive, the DPS on these towers, that could have spelled, you know, but a fair play on a COVID, stays as live as long, so long, was able to get some good Scatter of the Weeks, but there's no consistent damage, and with the magic resist that is being built on these carries, it is very much a draft diff and a team play diff. Fair play to Quantify. I think they very much stepped it up in game 2, Cat.
Yeah, and also if you see at the side of Frostbites, there's no defensive items, no stopwatches, or magic resist, or even armor on your Syndra and on your Talia. These are the champions that do damage. You need some safety besides the champions that are in front of them.
Come on, like, this is the game I wanted. This is what I was looking for. Might just maybe boost, maybe not the music volume, never. But, oh my god, yeah, this is the game I was looking for. 5k ahead for the side of Mystics now. And yeah, you can really see that translate into the items. 2 items on this Cassiopeia, almost 3 for the side of this Zaya. This is exactly how you would script write this game if you were Quantify.
Yeah, and also LDR looking almost nearly completed on the Zaya as well, making sure that she can cut through these tanks like a knife through butter, really fast and simple.
Absolutely, and it's paying off. You know, a COVID and Taria just aren't able to do the damage and have the impact in these fights as they want. Just very much being met with a brick wall. And just Cassiopeia and Zaya, it just allows them to go so much. A hook lands onto Penumbra Pumpkin. This could be another death for the side of the Frostbite jungler. Forks ulting in, looking to get more, looking to actually isolate Taria here. The ult out is good, but it gets interrupted by Deadly Fish. What a hook from the side of the support, as now Taria looking to run for his life. It is a 4v2, as now the ult comes in from the side of Amumu. A lovely cast the side Mummy. A flash in from Deadly Fish as well. Able to hook Mr. Robs, keeping the fight alive. What a play, as Mystics are running for the hills. It's a double kill, and Mr. Robs now going to be taken down as well. A triple kill from Cassiopeia as Deadly Fish goes ham.
Deadly Fish proving that I was wrong from game 1. Hitting every hook so far. Hooking the Talia away from her wall. Saying you're not going anywhere. Getting nearly the ace and maybe even the game.
Oh, and Zyrex maybe to looking. Wow, that is a bang, and the Syndra is gone. A lovely play from Zyrex, making sure those death timers are very much still respawning their players. But wow, a dragon and an inhib and so much gold, an 8k gold lead, and Quantify make a statement game 2 so far.
And that's what we wanted to see, right? We meant to see Quantify bounce back, saying, hey, you didn't win game 1, we lost it. And now, kind of all in their hands. Finish this game 7k gold lead.
Yeah, but I think it's quite easy. You've got these upper towers that we are seeing that Quantify are looking to pressure. We've got, so there's a lot of gold there. We've got Baron spawning in 1 minute 30. You'll have pressure in the mid lane constantly. You've got easy targets, and I think if Quantify play this nice and simple, you've got the carries, you've got the frontliners. Oh my god, we could be going through a game 3.
We could, and I think that's what we all want. We want more fast-paced League of Legends.
Especially, and this means so much, you know, these games, you know, it's going to give teams a lot of information, especially against the Mystics draft that has always been very, you know, alien. You know, they able to get those flex picks, always able to find a COVID to pop off some way. But we've seen here, you know, we've seen Quantify come up with a really good draft, maybe a little bit of an error from the side. Ultimate from Sion will just go to match the wave from Ornn Smash. And I think he could have just tanked that whole tower and still been fine, but that's just tanks
Playing
for
it
you.
safe, I guess.
Yeah. Just tanks being tanks as we see now the vision being set up for the side of Quantify. They do have a little bit of an in here, Frostbite Mystics, but they're able to get, you know, they're doing the right thing, and very much, you know, you see Mystics all here for the side, you know, making sure this Baron fight is going to be an explosive one.
I think they just want to.
The hook from against Penumbra Pumpkin will probably force out a flash, and it does, meaning that Penumbra Pumpkin will not have a good engage tool into this Baron pit. That was a good hook from Deadly Fish, who is just playing just so strong. Subbed in for Davey, I believe, after week 1 or 2. Deadly Fish looking for more. God, you can see him really... Oh, God, my voice is cracking like a motherfucker right now. But not as much as how cracked Deadly Fish is. As maybe looking for more here, Big Boy Stivo is looking for a Curse of the Sad Mummy. It goes up to 3! And it's huge from the side of the Amumu. A beautiful kill. As are they looking? They're not even looking for the Baron. They're looking for the end.
They're looking for the end that they can. Big Boy Stevo making those big boy plays. Just flashing on top of the Syndra. Making sure she cannot do any type of damage. No Scatter of the Week, no nothing.
The draft comes back to bite them. Only 2 members, only Taria and Robs left standing. One of the signature players, and with the TP coming down, this is going to be 5 members here. Mr. Robs trying to do all that he can. The Ornn Horde is good. It's not necessarily the best, but oh wow. It is just death from the side of Mr. Robs, death from the side of Mystics. They're looking to end here, although Pydecrow is now up. Echovid is now up. This could actually not be great here. Scattered Link lands onto Big Boy Stevo. Xerax actually almost going completely down. That is their DPS. They are looking to end this. Is Forks going to be able to bounce them? And yeah, he is looking to end the bounce special. It is, but they do have CC. This might not be, you know, as easy as we think. The flash from Forks looking to end it. The inhib so low on health, 500 health. Forks does have that zombie form, currently at 100 health. Can they stop him from getting this? The minions have spawned, maybe even a bit more,
tanky.
but it happens. The bounce ending to game 2. We're getting a game 3 as Quantify come back.
What a performance from Quantify. What a bounce back after that abysmal game 1, I should say. And Big Boy Stevo coming up clutch, finally doing what he was supposed to do in game 1 as well.
My voice is a bit short right now, but my spirits are high. What a comeback from Quantify Force. Just, I feel like just going from strength to strength. You know, apart from that early game, just able to be really calm, especially, you know, in a scenario where they could get 3-0 swept, but a 2-0 swept, but yeah, amazing. Any thoughts before we go to another break, Kat?
This is what I wanted to see, some fighting in the early game. Maybe eliminate the tanks a bit, but so far, really exciting series, and this is, I think, what we wanted and what we expected to see from the 2 best teams in Div 3.
If there was ever a chance to get that link in chat to VL for any newcomers here, this is what Valorant League is all about. Stay tuned, because after the break, we've got Game 3 of this Super Week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for what has been an incredible series so far. Frostbite Mystics taking the first game in a very long 37 minutes game, but Quantify more force in 10 minutes shorter in 27 minutes, able to bring back that game 3 cat. Oh my god, this is a series.
This is a series, and this is what we want to see. And not only that, these are the top two teams. I remind you, this is for all the marbles. This will probably decide who will be the number one team in the standings, maybe up until the end of Div 3 group stage.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just about to get into draft in about 20 seconds, but I just want to ask you, I would ask you about draft and all the different things we could talk about, but I'll let you change your predictions. It's one game apiece. The next game decides it. Who do you think's gonna win?
I think it honestly depends so much on draft, and I also think Frostbite needs to stop drafting full AP. It worked once. They came into game 2, did the exact same thing, didn't work. Maybe it's time to throw in the towel on that, end it on a 50-50, and try something else.
Absolutely. As just a little bit of information, Frostbite Mystics, having lost the last game, have picked blue side, which means I have to completely switch this over, which will be amazing and definitely not panic-inducing. Oh wait, has that done it? Okay, that's done it. Okay, we should be all ready to go on the side of us. But yeah, let's talk about draft. We don't want to see a full AP team. Maybe not the Syndra either. Are there any picks that you've maybe seen in match histories or maybe something else that you want to see from the side of Mystics?
And honestly, I've been saying it from game 1. Leave the tanks off the board. Pick a bruiser, something that at this point can even side lane or team fight. Or if you even want to do a flex AP bot laner, you have to go something AD mid. Think of the Talon, the Zed, maybe even the Yasuo or the Yone, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the idea of a bruiser. The bruiser idea, because that can very much add that AD that Mystics have been missing. But honestly, I personally, I am kind of feeling I don't want to bet. I think I'm gonna give it to Mystics. I think maybe they lost that game because of poor drafting, or because there's a lot of strong voices in Mystics. They were like, I want the Syndra, I want this, and then the whole composition, maybe just didn't come together. Obviously, I don't want to, say that was the case or not, but yeah, maybe something like a Zeri that could come out. I've seen Taria played that, something maybe more supportive from Pied Crow, but oh my god, I'm still going back to Deadly Fish on that Blitzcrank. What a game from Deadly Fish.
I think that also shows that Blitzcrank maybe should be taken away from both sides. They've both displayed such good pick potential, and you kind of want to take it away unless you intend on playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like in both games, the team that won is the team that's had good pick potential. We saw in game 1, the not only the Blitzcrank, but we also saw the Sejuani, and we saw just a good emphasis, and obviously the Talia and Swain as well, able to follow up on that. But regardless of what I think we are getting into game now. Kat, what are your thoughts? And yeah, here we are for game 3.
I think all of the cards have been shown on both sides. All the plays on who has that ace up their sleeve. What are we gonna see? We need to see something different from both sides if they want to take the series.
I know we're gonna have to see some different things, but very much same old as Mystics ban out the Ivan and the Ari band from Quantify.
Really strong picks. I think Ekovit has displayed that his Ari is not something you want to mess around with, and the Iron flex pick and the Cho'Gath flex pick being taken away immediately.
But we do see a mix-up here from Game 1. Remember when Mystics was on blue slide, the Swain was not banned and opted for the Fiora ban at this point as well. The Milio is the same 3 bans that we saw from Mystics, but the Swain, this spells something different here.
And they decide to keep the Fiora ban, and that leaves the Amumu flex open for the side of Frostbite if they want to take it, and what do you know?
They very much have. Has been so good. We've seen both Pydcrow and Penumbral Pumpkin pilot this to very much a good success. But if it worked in game 2, then it's going to work again. Quantify pick up the Xayah went so hard, you know, picking up so many kills and able to play so safe. I love this from Quantify.
And really positioning well in basically all of the fights. The only death from my memory was, or the only two deaths were when the Syndra just pressed the ultimate button, the outplay button that took away all the HP as we get Sion.
I can hear. I heard the exhale. I heard the disappointment, but I have to admit, you know, as much as we don't like to see, you know, the tanks, I think he played it really well, Forks. Especially, you know, big shout out because he is a substitute, and he played those ultimates that are able to come from downtown when either both teams don't have that teleport, and with the on run back, it's, you know, it's the same story in topside.
Yeah, it's the same story, and blind
I don't think this is gonna go through. Maybe.
I don't think it should. You should, I think, pick your ADC that you think would go good into Xayah and kind of play around that as Lulu.
It does. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, the Lulu very much suggesting that maybe a hyper-scaling AD carry, something like a Kog'Maw or a Zeri, however, that will have to wait after second phase bans. This is as traditional gets from the side of Mystics. Ket, what are your thoughts?
And also on top of that, you also have things like the Jinx, like the Varus as well, that just, there's so many good AD carriers right now in the meta that could go with Lulu, but I think Zeri would be the smart choice, unless Quantify take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. The Zac as well. I feel like this is... I remember seeing something where it's like, if Zac is played, like on a Clash team, it gets banned out so many times, especially, you know, if you've not got good vision as a team. The Zac E is just able to get onto your back, able to get, you know, so good ganks, especially with that level 4 power spike. The Kog'Maw being banned out and the Blitzcrank bang, very much signaling what these teams want to do.
Frostbite showing respect on the Blitzcrank, saying we let you have it once, we're not gonna let you have it again.
Absolutely is. Sorry, you do hear my water. This is going to be a rough series if we, for my voice, if we know how the last games have gone. But not rough for VL, as, you know, I see you guys in chat. You guys are popping off, which, and, you know, very excited for this game 3. It's amazing to see the Vayne banned. Now, that is interesting.
I think you have two tanks. Getting rid of the Vayne might be a smart idea. I do not know if Turi is that big of a Vayne player, but again, takes a little bit more skill to pilot, and I think Xayah is also really good into it, especially with, you know, the feathers. Vayne can't really walk up by herself.
I mean, I always say, every week, anyone who watches VL Div 3, it wouldn't be a VL stream without Jinx. We haven't seen it so far, but it is up. Nautilus paired with Xayah, I love the pick potential, even if that might be sacrificing some damage. What will Taria pick? There's so many options. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking you can't go really for any mage right now, as the Talia and the Heimerdinger being covered. I think Zeri might be the safest pick here.
Yeah, I do agree with the Zeri. I do believe that's going to come up. Oh, no, it's... oh, it's the Ashe.
Ashe.
That is interesting. Not very high damage usually, but just able to bring that vision and the pick potential that they were missing. The Yone would switch it to possibly almost all AD. That could be an interesting pick here.
I think you do need some AP here, as Corki is really good in the pairing with the Amumu and the Ornn when it comes to pick potential. But the Ashe pick into Sion, Zac, and Nautilus might be a bit head-scratcher.
Yeah, it is going to take a very long time for this Mystics comp to get online. Corki, Ornn, Amumu, Lulu, this is going to be something. The Talia hover, you know, and wow, we see the Vex run into Corki. You know, a very good assassin who can dive in very well, but I don't think we've seen a Vex in VL so far.
I think the only time we have not seen it on stream, but I remember Patarina playing against Tease in week 1 or week 2 against Blaze. Did not go so well, from my memory.
Well, that is not what you want to see as well. rejoice, we do have some AD on the side of Mystics. They are not allergic to it. But, I mean, wow, this is such a late game comp from the side of Mystics. I play Corki quite a bit because I don't like lane interaction. I don't particularly I like farming. But, you know, there is a real worry here that this team comp just doesn't get rolling quick enough.
And also, if I'm Quantify, I'm never leaving bot. Their bot lane has no mobility. Just jump once on Zac, get the flash, and then you have Nautilus right there in their face. Really, really hard to execute, I think. It does seem like a simple draft, but you really need near perfect positioning and perfect execution to get what you want, especially in team fights.
Yeah, and especially with this four-man dive that is so potent. I mean, you're thinking Vex, Zac, Xayah, and Nautilus is a killer combo, especially with Vex, who is going to, unless the COVID can pull out something magical, Vex is usually going to get the shove in that lane. And if Zac even can come to help with that as well, I mean, I want to say that once again, this is a Quantify favored draft, but I know Ekovid so well. This is, you know, he is he's such a credible mid laner, knows his strengths and knows just how much he can push his champions to the limit. But I don't know, what are you thinking? Like, is there any other weaknesses, or you know, what's going through your head when you look at this draft?
When I look at this draft, I think that Ekovid and Taria, they have to poke out as much as possible before the Amumu and the Ornn go in to secure those kills. But I think Ekovid, I mean, he's shown time and time and again, even in the loss, that he's arguably the best mid laner in Div 3. But can he prove it here in probably the most important game right now? For Frostbite.
Yeah, and I would just like to point out Mystics in this series has now dropped their first game of the tournament. And it is, well, I mean, it is to the strongest team, but that is significant. Mystics are beatable, and that's going to be nice for all the teams to recognize.
Yeah, it just shows that every team is beatable. Everyone maybe has a chance against everyone. I mean, we've seen it with Ablaze Academy taking away game 1 against Quantify.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, it is a poke comp. You know, with Corki and Ash, you're going to have to get, you know, you can get the kind of long range, or what's it called? Lock range pick. You know, a Mumu, that Q, especially with that projectile extension, you can really get some long range picks. And especially if that Corki damage and that poke lands to the right targets, maybe a Vex or a Xayah that is just slightly out positioning, I can very see that. I can see the idea, but yeah, I mean, especially with how much damage Sion could do with a squishy with something like Heartsteel, it is on Mystics here to be able to prove this draft.
And again, really, really simple champions on the side of Mystics, but again, really, really hard to execute if they're not positioned properly.
Absolutely, but you know, all the theory now, you can throw it out the window, all draft theory, because right now it is 5 players versus 5 players on the Rift, game 3, in what will determine who goes undefeated and who will have their record tarnished. Remember, folks, it is the top 6 of this bracket who will go through to the playoff stage. And the top 2 seeds will get a bye in their first week. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the top seed will be able to pick who they go against in that second bracket. So it is very important who comes first and second here, Kat.
And it's for all the marbles. You also want to have a little bit of banter on your side, saying, hey, we beat you guys. We think that we're superior and we're going to show it.
Absolutely. In game already, I have not. Hang on. Production. Ooh,
there is an instant pause.
There's an instant pause. Welcome, guys. That was a good time to join in. What's. Okay, yep. So we do just have a pause. I'm assuming you're on the same screen.
It is currently paused at 4 seconds.
Yeah, we did have some just talk in the chat about, you know, time constraints and, you know, other things that people were doing. You know, this is a long... in fact, it was the jungler who DC'd of Penumbral Pumpkin. It's not good what you want to see. I'm currently at 15 seconds.
Yep.
17,
Likewise.
18. Amazing. Oh my god. Thank you so
I
much.
mean, we can thank the pauses for that.
Hell yeah.
Pauses coming in clutch for the
Pauses.
caster team.
Level 1 here for the side of these teams, as you know, we have seen. Oh, as I've gotten a freeze.
On 32 right now.
34, 35.
Yep.
30 seconds.
Okay,
In the
awesome.
bush, level 1. It is awarded, unfortunately, for the side of Quantify, but maybe Tori oversteps.
Maybe. No, the Ashe playing it very safe. The ward being taken down is nice. I would actually like to know who that's gone on to. That will be the Zac, I'm afraid. Does the experience go over to everyone who kills the ward?
I think it's in the vicinity of the ward that the XP is shared. So, a little bit of an advantage for Quantify in that department.
I'm trying to look. I don't know, because I know if you get the kill, you get level 2 on the first wave. Penumbral Pumpkin, you're actually getting a little bit of damage down. Penumbral Pumpkin being chased out. I talked about this. If Penumbral Pumpkin can be chased out of his jungle, it is disrupted to his clear. This could be bad for the side of them, but they are looking to invade on the top side. If you just look over, they're looking to steal away the blue for their troubles. Oh wait, no, hang on. I'm thinking of it the wrong way around.
Evo and the gang protecting their own jungle, saying, this is not your place.
Oh my god, it's been a long cast. It's been a long cast. It's,
It has been a long and gruesome series, but who will walk out victorious?
Yeah, absolutely. As Big Boy Stevo doing, once again, we saw this on Lilia, doing the leashless Raptor start, able to, there's a way you can do this. I don't want to get too nerdy if there's like no kills, but if there are no kills, the thing is you set up your Raptors and Krugs so that when you've cleared your bot side and you've done all that, you get your second respawn of Raptors and Krugs, which means they'll be a higher level because you've taken them so early, and you're able to sequence them going Raptors and Krugs like you did on the first rotation, getting you even far ahead in XP. Jungle, nerdy, pathing, it's a good strat if you put no pressure out.
This is why we love junglers. They're the mathematicians. They're the time wizards of League of Legends.
Yeah, especially with the crab now changed to 330, it really allows this path to get ahead. You usually need... So Amumu and Zac are two big piloters of this. Another one would be something like Nocturne, Shyvana, you know, people who really spike at level 6. Amumu not going for it, just going straight for his usual bot to top to bot pathing. But wow, you know, it's standard as always in the early game, Cat.
Up, I mean, two beefy boys in the top lane, two tanks in the jungle again. The only interesting thing that can come out is if the Vex can trade really well against the Corki. And
oh, we see a flash over. Forks was trying to proxy, but it might not work. Does he have the plant there? No, he does not. Forks are both flashes used, so he can't chase. And because they knew that Amumu was on this bot side, it meant that Forks knows that there's going to be no jungler interfering with him. Meanwhile, that jungler looking to get the crab as it spawns.
And both junglers pathing to the bot side. No mobility in the early game for either. However, the Nautilus can just Spider-Man away if he gets caught.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am a little bit worried already. I mean, this Corki has gone cull and is already out trading this Vex, which is a bit worrying. But we actually do see a little bit, you know, Cassandra looking around the spot side, just looking to maybe support her friends in this bot side play. But Amumu possibly is able to look for a double scuttle, which would be nice for the Amumu.
I think as the Amumu, you want to get 6 as soon as possible, and then run straight bot lane to kill the Xayah to get this Ashe lead, because if the Ashe doesn't get a lead, yes, she has the utility, yes, she has the slow, but if she cannot kite away from 3 tanks that can just jump on you instantly, I think it's game over for you.
Can I nerd out a bit more about the jungle path? I mean, it's not worked. It's not worked like here because Big Boy Stevo has had to reset. But another reason junglers do this, especially into actually, as we see Amumu maybe looking for a gank now, ignoring it. However, he is spotted on that ward if you see in the brush on his jungle, so both laners will be very much aware. But just going back quickly, another reason you do it is because you're able to desync your buff spawn timers. The fact that, because usually you do your bot side into your top side, so the spawn timers are delayed. But if you do red into blue straight away, it means like you buffer them a little bit. You kind of off-sync it with your enemy jungler. And so if they're trying to predictably, you know, oh, I know his buff is going to spawn when my buff is for an invade, it delays that quite significantly and is a way of sort of countering an invading jungler like Kha'Zix or something. There you go. That's the nerdy shit over.
Yeah, maybe we have some junglers in the chat who could learn from this and maybe use it in their future games.
Okay, I just wanted to preface, I am silver, so I wouldn't go learning too much. But just as a general, I am a very... Actually, we do see Zach actually in the mid lane looking for the Corki. The ultimate lands as well. Can they one-shot him? No, Ekovid's so low, but is able to get out. Penumbral Pumpkin trying to deal the damage. Actually, the hook goes in the bandage toss as well, getting both junglers very low. Cassandra has, and the passive as well might mean a first blood, but we do see action in the bot lane. Going back to the top lane, Cassandra not able to get it. Wow, the flash in is very aggressive, but it won't work out. A first blood for this Corki is huge. Big Boy Stevo's not allowed to the queue as well. Looking so low, the Valkyrie will be used. But Umbra Pumpkin with the bandage toss means Zach goes into passage. And with the AoE damage that these two can bring out, a double kill for the Corki is exactly what Mystics need.
Such a good idea from the Zac and the Vex combo, but they have no damage. Vex was sitting on a Doran's Ring and an Amp Tome. You can't really one-shot a full HP Corki with that. And on top of that, Amumu was shadowing him, making sure that even after the play, they might look onto Steve or Cassandra, and it ended up working out for them.
And this poke dream just comes alive. A Corki with first strike, with those ultimates that can just deal so much damage from afar, no matter who you are, especially with the mixed damage that Corki can bring with his package, will just mean that this idea of a COVID and Taria, the two carries from Frostbite who have just taken this team to new heights, can really show their mettle in Game 3.
And also proving that they're the best in their positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Boy Stevo on the dragon after that fight. Amumu in the top side will not be able to answer with 4 members there. It's a nice consolation prize for the side of Quantify.
And I think Quantify want to get as many objectives as they can for free. Being that they are slightly behind, maybe around 1.2 big gold.
Yeah, currently sitting at 800 gold, but that gold, actually 1k gold lead on the side of the Corki is huge. It very much is going to limit what this Vex can do now. So this Corki, you know, especially when we see that package come through, you're going to see a lot of roams that will able to come through. And with Ekovid, you know, he's got such a good map presence. He's always able to find ways to put his team ahead. And yeah, it's just going to be one scary Corki as we go into this early mid-game.
And not only that, if Ekovid can time his packages correctly, he will be able to use it when each objective spawns, making probably a nice line that Quantify cannot cross unless they want to get one shot or collapsed on.
Absolutely, as we just see Sion ulting back to lane, making that's nice. I've never seen that before. Using the Q to stop the Sion in his tracks, still able to get the wave because they're both tanks, and trading is just getting more grasp procs.
The top lane experience is really going on right now. Again, 9 minutes, no kills. Basically a wet noodle fight.
And as we were talking about the top lane experience, we do see a Rift Herald. I think we both know where we want this Rift Herald to go, but humor me, where do you want this Rift Herald?
In the top lane, get this on ahead now.
God damn it. Yeah, I think this mid lane, yeah, probably for the best, right?
Yep, of course you want to keep this Corki as ahead as possible. Don't want him to get one shot by the Vex, at least in the early stages.
I mean, to maybe put a little bit of a counter argument, the idea is that, you know, while Mystics haven't gone fully AP, you know, well done to them, they are still AP, you know, heavy. And with a Corki and a Mumu that are doing well, and with an Ashe, you know, that isn't having as much damage, Ashe not very much known for her AD damage as it is, we could see a very much easier build path for, again, these 3 tanks on the side of Quantify.
Yeah, and as well the Merc Treads, as I say
Oh, wow, a lovely little, but he's not able to get more damage. Penumbra Pumpkin is actually being caught out as Cassandra with a lovely roam. The ult is looking, but it's not finding anything. 5 people down here. It's a party in bot lane. Forks being a bit too ambitious with these TPs. Taria and Pied Crow not going to be able to look to walk up to this tower. Deadly Fish looking for a Player of the Week part 2, but it won't happen. A pick for the side of Quantify.
that. Decision making from Quantify, pinching it, even if Penumbra Pumpkin wanted to escape, he had to walk towards the Zaya and the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Making him choose who does he want to die to.
Yeah, I actually thought that kill when I saw the dredge line and I saw, you know, that coming through. Oh, we see a little bit. They don't see this. Are they? They're playing scared. Will this be another kill? It's bot lane part 2, and it is the Lulu being abused. But here comes Zac out of nowhere. Is not able to land the Q. Is so unfortunate. Zac with no passive is getting very low. Deadly Fish also. This is the power of Ashe, but he's not coming through. He's not able to get the damage down. It is a kill onto the side of Zaya. It was a lovely trade onto the 2 targets, but not the 2 targets that were going to go down. A double, 2 kills going to the side of Quantify.
Nice attempt from Taria, both targets really low, but you have an AD carry in front of you. Don't really risk it that much. And she ends up dying for it.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're calling for a little bit of a collapse here. Oh, the Rift Herald going down in the Rift Herald pit. Certainly, you know, on theme. Maybe looking to... this. Oh my god, it's not getting out. This is certainly interesting. Wait, where's it gone? Oh god, it's in top lane. It's. I think that was. I think it clipped through the wall. But oh god, there is a fight. Penumbra Pumpkin using the Curse of the Sad Mummy, trying to get out. And ult is very good from the side of. Oh, this is huge from the side of Mystics. Zac going down, and the. Oh no, there's the other guy. It's a 2 kill. It was really good from Mystics.
Tanks from Quantify fall down a bit too easily, and again the kills go on to Echo Vid.
Oh, but here's the pick. It's round 2 onto the side of the Corki, but there is still not enough damage. You see the effort, you see the attempt. The dredge line is good, and the CC is good, but just not enough to kill a COVID once again.
Tanky at this point, but he also is going for a bit of a more spicier build. He has the Dark Seal on top of everything else that he's building. Quite interesting.
I've never seen a Dark Seal on Corki. Although, to be fair, COVID does this a lot. Taria maybe looking out of position here. She's no flash, no ghost. And Zyrex getting another kill on Taria. 2 kills now, 2 deaths already. A lovely pickup there.
And this is what I've been talking about. The Ashe, no mobility. You have Nautilus Hook, which basically you can't really miss. And then on top of that, you have a Zaki and a Scion that's going to be on top of your face. How do you escape this?
Yeah, and with no Ashe, this Corki package, I mean, it is spawning for this Dragon Forks, ulting to maybe proxy the wave. But because there's... Oh, the Ashe ult is lovely. A huge burst here, using the package for some extra damage, and that will become a kill. It was a nice try by Cassandra, but oh, Penumbra Pumpkin getting caught out once again, maybe. There's no flash for him as he goes down as when he Pied Crow tried to save him using the flash, but maybe in danger himself. We've seen a Lulu die very many times. A beautiful hook from the side of Deadly Fish is just for show. Taria popping the ghost to get out of there. But it is a 1-for-1. The Corki having all the kills.
And the caster strikes again. We talk about Taria mispositioning, and then she redeems herself with a beautiful snipe with that ultimate onto the Vex. Both teams going toe-to-toe in this game 3.
Absolutely no package from the side of the Corki, but does have the ult. Doesn't go as it was not charged, and also Corki takes time to scale. But with the Manamune now there, and that is going to be a Luden's Echo, we might see there are, you know, some build paths diverges for 3rd item on Corki. Some still like going for the Tiamat with the red thing, and then others like going for the blue Essence Reaver thing. Wow, yeah, take over, I'm losing it.
But I think with the recent item changes, before you had a choice, do you want the damage with the Ludens or the survivability with the shield bow? You can do both now. So we will definitely see how this Corki wants to play it. It is
Yeah.
all in his hands, but with the items, I think he wants to do as much damage as possible. He doesn't care about surviving.
Ult goes wide, but the Nautilus will... ult does land. The ultimate comes out from the Ashe, only lands onto the Nautilus though, but it is Mystics who are looking to engage. Curse of the Sad Mummy is huge damage. Some big ultimates used, but it's a pick for the side of Mystics.
Yeah, the Nautilus opting for the Moby Boot instead of the Merc Treads just get CC chained to death.
But we're talking about there, you know, that was huge amount of damage, huge amount of team fight damage, but that is all magic damage. That is what they have, and, you know, Nautilus has gone for the... Oh, it's a lovely little 1v1 there. Goes in the favor of Zidrex, but, you know, this Nautilus, you know, hasn't gone for the Merc Treads, has gone instead for the Moby Boots, but the magic resist is coming, and it is going to be so effective against this magic-heavy team.
Exactly, and also when you think about it, outside of an engage from the Amumu, how can they really fight you? They need the Ashe Arrow. If the Ashe Arrow doesn't land, if the Amumu Q doesn't land, they're just gonna jump on you. You have no escapes.
Yeah, second Rift Herald picked up for Penumbral Pumpkin. Honestly, that hook from Deadly Fish, I'm kind of glad. I'd be glad if that missed. That could be very bad, but with Taria having to back away and this Xayah going from strength to strength, the turret is down with a bounty as well. Oh, this is going to be very close. An arrow coming out as well. Does that land? No, it does not. Oh, it does land, sorry, but Pipecrow trying to get the damage. He's all here by himself. Some supportal combat here. Cannot get anything more. A slow would mean a death sentence for the Xayah, but it does not come out. A nice try from the bot lane.
Being forced to pop the clans to survive, perhaps, from that collapse of Lulu and Ashe. Really showing that Taria is not messing around with these Ashe ultimates.
Yeah, absolutely, but Forks is not messing around either as he chucks himself. The ultimate comes out from the Lulu, but a double root is huge. Picro trying to get away with, you know, the quickness. No, not the quickness, that's Rakan, but, you know, Picro, this is a very dead Lulu, I fear. Running for their life, but it is just Lulu abuse on the Rift so far. You know, it is a pickup on the mid lane for a kill. But with the... What is that? Is that a TP in the mid lane? Oh, it's a TP. Oh, I thought it was a Xayah TP. What the hell? I saw the TP and I was like, wait, is Xayah TPing into Corki? But no, it is the Sion, and she's able to hit mid bot lane a bit more kept.
Really good execution from Fox again on the Sion, just running it down bot lane, making sure that this ADC can't escape at all. As
oh wow, it was that's a nice bandage toss from the side of Penumbral Pumpkin using the Curse of the Sad Mummy to able to disrupt that. It's the Leandries for Corki who is going to be able to proc the passive from the side of the Zac. That is a nice play. Honestly, a good idea. We're godlike at 18 minutes for the Corki.
yeah, and he opts for the Leandris instead of the Ludens. I believe he sold his blasting wand from earlier.
Ah, yes. Yeah, he would have to do that. I think that is a smart idea, though. I mean, 10 stacks on this Dark Seal is going to have all the AD and burst he is going to need, and something with more tank shred, especially looking at these three beefy frontliners. It's a smart item choice from Ekovid.
I think as far as we've been seeing for 20 minutes, it's going to go down with the Xayah against the Corki, who can dish out more damage. You can survive more and longer in the fights.
And can Cassandra and Deadly Fish finally get a one-shot combo onto the Corki? You know, they've had a lot of practice, so they've got it down, but yeah, it is... You know, yeah, it is Corki versus Xayah. Ekovid versus Zidrex, who has come up so huge in this game so far. I cannot wait. It is a third dragon here for the side of Quantify, which very much is a change from the last game. If they're able to stack this Infernal Dragon, it is very much... It's going to be a tough game for Mystics.
Package on Corki can be devastating. It can ultimately change the way this rig goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies, I forgot to zoom out. But obviously, with the Corki at such a strong item point, especially also with the package, the dragon goes over, and the dragon stacking is stopped from the side of Quantify.
They're giving the respect. I mean, 2 items, a Tiamat, tier 2 boots and 10 Dark Souls like 7-0. Quantify showing that they do not really want to mess around with this Corki at this point.
I think a very smart idea. I mean, generally, you don't want to mess with a 7-0 Corki. But it's going to be, as we also see the tier map coming through for the Ravenous Hydra, as I just remembered the name of that item. But, yeah, it's a bit of tank-on-tank action here in the top lane. Probably not a lot of damage going to be done. But, yeah, Baron has spawned. We've got Dragon in 4 minutes. How do you think the teams need to play out from here?
Honestly, I think side of Quantify, they really need to get into fights where they can enable Desire to hit for free. No Corki on her, no Mumu, no Ornn, nothing. I think that's the only way they win, and they have to shut down this Corki as quickly as possible because he's gonna be scaling a lot more than anyone else in this game.
Because, like, in theory, like, I should be thinking, oh, it's Quantify on a timer, Corki, Ashe, Lulu, you know, all these late games champions, and they're 3k ahead, it's GG. But it's high magic damage, although we do see some armor build, but we do see an ult coming through onto Taria. The CC is so good, bringing Taria down to half health, but it is only 2 tanks. There is no damage here as Xayah is in the back line. Not able to do much as here comes Cassandra, able to take Taria down so low, and is able to kill her. Kill 1, kill 2, there's no Corki, but Corki has joined the fray. Maybe to try and get a bit more damage done, but it is too little, too late. Cassandra assassinates Pumpkin on the backside. The ult is optimistic, but with no Corki there, Quantify take the fight, and they're turning towards the Baron.
And Corki has no package. This would be either an ideal fight to just pick off the Corki with no vision, or try to burst the Baron as fast as possible, but they opt for neither.
Yeah, playing it safe. I mean, the Corki was dealing a lot of poke damage. Definitely took both their jungler and their mid laner low, as you're seeing now. That wasn't even a red ultimate, and that was dealing, you know, a third or a quarter of Xayah's health bar. The ultimate is for BM. I don't know, but it happened.
Hey, I have not missed my ult at all this game, and I'm gonna keep that streak going.
Yeah, I like that. Just the mental edge, I think that's absolutely brilliant. But I just want to look at this vision, you know, just quickly while we maybe have a second. Onto the side of, do we have a second? Taria maybe getting out of position once again. The Zac does go a bit wide, but the dredge line is there. Taria is dead. The cleanse will not do anything against that CC. Taria picked out once again on this Ashe, as 5 deaths already means they have prio over the Baron.
And again, no mobility on the Ashe. You were not supposed to walk up in front of anyone. Doesn't matter if it's a Lulu or a caster minion. Sit behind anything.
As we see, is Quantify now directed onto the Baron. This is going to be so crucial. Echovid now with no ultimate charges. This is not going to spell well for his damage. We do see a red ultimate there. There is one left. Forks uses the ultimate, trying to go down. It's a split fight, but they're turning off the Baron, trying to kill down Corki. We maybe see us going so low, and the Corki is not taken down. The Corki is still alive. Cassandra melted through already as 1 carry down. They're trying to get more done, but they turn off the Baron, and they're not seeing anything for it. Corki now trying to get more damage. It's a huge AoE. It's a lot as Quantify now looking to retreat. The 4-man knockup from Mr. Robs is huge. Forks is going to pay for his life, but Wilmore as well. Xerax trying to get more damage down, but it was so close, but not enough. Echovid clinches the game back as it's 2 kills for Mystics.
Quantify just leaving the Baron unattended after taking away and even poking a lot, and then just jumping onto the Corki and not end up killing him. The ultimates from Lulu, the shielding, the Mikael's blessing, everything for the 9-0 Corki.
The Quantify team almost as shot as my voice, but they're going towards the Baron. Pipecrow looking very low, and they decide to turn off it. Not the damage there, and Penumbra Pumpkin, their jungler, was not there either. Deadly Fish, we've seen his hooks. Does land onto a fairly big target as the TP coming in from Forks. Does mean that Robs will get taken down, and it's another kill, and it's advantage back towards Quantify as they look for the dragon.
They have a man advantage. They can look to get this Drake. However, they have to be careful as there's a package on the Corki.
This Corki coming, the Corgi, this could be so dangerous. And look, they're wanting to fight this. Penumbra Pumpkin in the area as the dragon is started. 9k health is a bit of damage from Corki is making it a little bit easier. So they're trying to drag it out. They're trying to make sure that this won't get stolen by a bandage toss smite. Penumbra Pumpkin walking in, they have the vision on this, so it will get interrupted. 2k health on the Baron, but the fight has already been started. Penumbra comes in, but it's not able to seal it. Their damage comes through already, and the bandage toss does not go further. Package still on a COVID as they turn onto him now. Ultimate now there as well, but here comes Vex. Is able to shut down them as Xerax is now turning all his damage and attention. This is good for the side of Quantify, but low health bars on the tanks is not good enough. Xerax is going to have to go huge, and the Feathers Fly is amazing. The Fistics get right off the map. Amazing from Xerax, as it is almost an ace, and the Dragon as well from Mystic against Mystics.
They just kept hitting the tanks. Here's the enemy's eye. She was just left untouched. Yes, you killed the Vex, but at what cost? The real damage dealer is still alive, full HP, full mana. She just gets to do whatever she wants.
Oh, and they're trying to take this Baron. It's once again, but Penumbra Pumpkin is on his way. 8k health for now, as here comes the sad Amumu. Not very fast, only with the tier 2 groups and no other movement items. But here comes the Baron. It is, oh, the ultimate coming out as well. They do able to take it, as my camera is going completely nuts. As, oh my god, Xerax is taken down. It's 4 members with the Baron so far. With all that and just incredible camera work, it is a Baron that goes over to Quantify, but a shutdown given over in the process.
I just want to say that if Mystics end up winning, they should give Baron the MVP for knocking the Xayah up, slowing her, and giving Amumu the time to just Q and kill him.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, we missed that on stream. I'm gonna be so sad. Don't worry. I think what we'll do is we'll get a replay and we'll be able to see that one. Yeah, MVP Baron. What was it? It was in a C9 game where it was like the blue buff got like the last hit, and they made a tweet where it was like MVP, welcome Cloud9 blue buff. But
Yep,
there's no time to
honestly,
rest. Oh no, there is.
Oh,
Yes, there is. Whoa, what an ultimate from the Nautilus. That was huge. Penumbra Pumpkin's flash goes wide, as does the Curse of the Sad Mummy. That is a very, very sad mummy. Tries to get the pick onto Big Boy Stevo, but is able to get out.
well, Fox is just doing top lane things in the bot lane. Absolutely refusing to elaborate and interact with any other champion besides the caster minions.
he's living a good life. He's chilling, okay? Don't hate. But oh, Deadly Fish, another hook landing once again. Forks coming out, and Penumbra Pumpkin is dead once again. Penumbra Pumpkin now tied with Taria for the most amount of deaths on their team. They've been exploited and they've been picked up as a tower and maybe more with this Baron coming for the side of Quantify.
He's fishing with his hooks, Deadly Fish. Kind of ironic when you think about it, but they want to jump in.
Oh, this could be the end. This could be the game-ending fight. The Zac does. Oh, but it is Ash who is just straight up dead. The Ornn flank is a bit inventive, but Deadly Fish is able to get out once again. Whoa, Cassandra goes in, almost gets taken out. Gets one shot. Adventurous from the Cassandra, who just takes a 3-kill over to the side of Quantify.
Corki, if you're right up in his face, you can just press E and ult and shred your armor and magic resist and then nuke you with that red ultimate.
And it's
Kind of risky from the side of Quantify to even look for that play.
20, almost 29 minutes. Gold is even, and you see it in chat. They know they need to kill this 4-item Corki, who is 5k gold ahead of his opposing laner. It is all for everything. Dragon Soul coming up in 1 minute. This is the time, folks. If you want to say who you want to win, because all the marbles, you know that a team fight is going to be explosive, and it is coming soon, Cat. I cannot wait.
Well, I want to see this Ashe. Yes, she's 1 in 7, but I want to see a good ultimate on the Xayah, make her waste the cleanse, and then make the Amumu and or the Ornn just follow up and instantly nuke her.
But look at this. Wow, I'm genuinely actually feeling a little bit sick. This casting, it really does take it out of you. But look at this vision on the bot side jungle for the side of Quantify, look, they have just got so much... I don't want to do that. The vision that they've got, making sure Pied Crow, Deadly Fish lands another Dredge line. The ultimate is good, trying to get it down, but they don't have the damage. Curse of the Mummy lands to 3 as Big Boy Stebo tries to retreat. Using the ultimate to get away as nothing comes of it. Ultimate as well from Cassandra goes wide. Some big cooldowns there from the side of Quantify.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that they would even go for a tier 3 play, knowing that the Corki can be right behind them. They just nuke them all, and all of this thrown for a 1-7 Ashe and a 0-4 Lulu.
Oh, is Lulu dead? I don't know. I didn't see. What? Sorry. But it is currently 30 minutes and 30 seconds. The dragon is up, and this is Soul. This will give Quantify so much more damage if they can take it. And this would almost spell the end of Mystic's chance to win a conventional 5v5 team fight. But you know they don't want to take it. So much vision. They actually put 2 wards in the same brush, but they've given away a lot of map control here, have Quantify here, opting for the mid pressure.
Package, that Corki package really just saying, hey, we have to respect it. He's basically full build. He has a Medjay which is going in.
Oh, and the Corki package is used. Not too effective there. The ultimate comes around as well. Forks kind of just walking in the middle of them. Ashe ult goes wide as well. Getting some nice damage onto Xerax as now he turns onto the fight. This is it here right here. Penumbra Pumpkin going low as it is a split fight. Echovid on the backside. But oh my god, Xerax has gone down. This is huge from Echovid. And now Echovid can get so much. It's all on Cassandra. Can he get him down? And Corki does go down, which allows Big Stevo to revive. It's the 2v2 onto the side as Mr. Robs goes on. No, but he has to retreat. It's actually, he's the only person left alive, along with him and Penumbra Pumpkin, who was able to chase down the most deadly of fish. Mr. Robs with that flash is going to be able to get out. And after all that is said and done, both main carries go down. And it is a 3v2. Once again, the fight goes to Quantify.
What a scrappy fight. It was just completely split after that mid lane fiasco with the Xayah going down to the demonic embrace bird and then just Cassandra poking the Corki out of existence, even though she only has 2 items compared to the Corki's full build.
I genuinely might throw up. If these fights keep going, I'm down to my last bit of water. And as the minions, the winions, giving Mystics a scrap of hope here, as it is, again, it's only 2k difference, and with Baron up, Cat, you know we're gonna get another fight.
We need something. We need some pick potential. We need something that screams. We want to win. From
well, I hope it doesn't
sides.
make me scream. But it's been, honestly, both these teams, no matter who wins, have put up an absolute show, showing how these teams can be exploited and showing the level of Div 3. Remember, these are only gold and plat players, and they are playing this so well. It's 32 minutes into the game, and they're playing the macro very well. It's so good, and now, with the mid lane prio secured from the side of Quantify, they're going to look to get this control ward off the Baron, and looking to get a lot of pressure onto this.
And I know it's been 33 minutes into the game, but I just want to ask, what is this Ashe build? What are these items?
Oh my god, that is an Ashe build. The Triforce and the Blade of the Rune King certainly does show that it's going to try and deal with the tanks. And the Tiamat as well, trying to do some AoE damage. Whoa, I love... Oh, come on, you don't pause there, do you? Pied Crow is able to be gone in. Lulu is actually taking a lot of damage. Cassandra is able to take it down. 2 TPs coming in as both top laners know that this could be the fight. This could be the Baron. This could be the game-ending objective. They're looking for the poke. That could have been huge. Oh my god, any of these bullets that land from this Corki could spell disaster. Big Boy Stevo going in, but here comes the dredge line. Here comes the fight. Big Boy Stevo, Penumbra Pumpkin trying to zone the Xayah, but this choke is huge for the side of Quantify. 2 people down, 3 people down, and it's the Corki down already. Got caught up in the middle of that. Tarrier is trying so much, but oh my god, they're favourites to win this in one of the best games I've seen in BL. It's an ace from the side of against Mystics, and Quantify are looking to end the game.
Quantify, they looked so shaky in game 1, didn't really know what they were doing. They silenced all of the doubters in games 2 and 3 as they looked have a victory lap in the mid lane.
Oh
and
my
destroy the Nexus.
God, one of the best performance, one of the best games. What a comeback from Quantify against all hopes, against all odds. No, there is nothing for this Lulu to do in a reverse sweep of the ages. Quantify Mystics take down, Quantify Force take down Frostbite Mystics.
What a series, what a banger 3 games from both sides. GG's.
GG's. Oh my God. Welcome to casting. If that's your first cast, I mean, that was wow. Oh my God. Remember to stay here, folks, because we are definitely going to want to hear what Quantify Force wants to say about that. We're going to have an interview coming through soon as we will be taking your questions. But yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to say before going to a break?
I just want to say that Xerax on this Zaya has just been insane across these last 2 games. Practically willing his team out of a hole from the start of game 2 and now in the end of game 3.
Absolutely. So I hope you've enjoyed that one as much as we have over here, but stay tuned. We're going to have a little bit of an interview with whoever is able to do it. But yeah, stay tuned as we get the insight from a cracking game after this break. Hello, folks. Shut up, music. Hello, folks. Don't worry, the casters have got another water bottle. We are just currently waiting for an interview. I believe we are going to be getting Fox on. If anyone from Quantify Fox, I know we had Chipex as well, could just come into the VL Live interview room and we'll be able to go there. But oh my god, Kat, what a game we just saw.
Not just what a game, what a series, and for all of the bragging rights in Div 3, especially for Quantify after that rough start.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Forks. I believe you are in the VL thing, right? The VL Discord. Oh no,
That
no,
he is.
he's disappeared, and now he's here. Okay, so we're just going to be going over to the interview room now, and yeah, Forks, thank you
Yo.
so much for being with us. I don't know what to say. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, obviously really happy. We had a little bit of a roster swap up, and I'm temporarily filling, so it felt good to get a win. Um, yeah, I think after game one we were a little uncertain, but I think we rallied around well.
Yeah,
After that,
yeah. Please, Kat, go ahead.
after that game one, I want to say collapse. Going into game two, how did you guys feel? Did you feel that you were confident, even though game one went pretty bad, that you can just take it in game two and force a game
Ga-
three?
yeah, game two was a little bit of a salty run back from us, maybe. We felt like we threw kind of hard into the Swain multiple times. And so taking the Swain out, we were happy for them to do the weird double AP carry thing that they did. Because we figured if we don't int into Swain on cooldown, we'd probably have a good chance of taking it.
Yeah, I mean that second game we were talking about it so much. I think because they did do that double AP in the first game, but I think you drafted around it so much better in that second game. And then I mean, you know, in the third game we were just screaming and shouting so much. I mean, was that what kind of clarity? What do you think clinched it in that third game? You know, what was going on in that mic, in that call?
I think we were just really channeling on needing to kill the Corki. Fortunately, our bot lane won kind of hard, and the Ash wasn't much of an issue. So going into it, we were thinking about putting chains on Ash and sort of figuring out how to take out both of them. But as soon as Ash was basically a minion, it didn't really matter, and all we had to do was channel Corki down, and then we could clean up.
Right now, you guys have technically secured the first spot in Div 3. What do you have to say about that? Any messages for the other Div 3 teams? Do you think they stand a chance against the mighty Quantify?
That's really cool. I didn't actually know that. Yeah, I don't want to be too confident. We played Div 3 last split, and I think we only lost like 2 games in the groups, and we bombed out in playoffs. So obviously anything can happen, which is I feel like I'm doing like the general interview to the media of not hyping yourself up. But obviously we feel good and we're excited for playoffs and we're excited for what the split could look like for us.
Yeah, so just to confirm on that, obviously you haven't secured first place in the group because there's still half a week to go, but you are very much, I think, mathematically both on strength of win, especially if I don't know if you have completed that Quantify Nova game, but if you win
Yeah,
that, oh yeah.
no, sorry, go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if that match goes in your favor as well, you are mathematically due to strength of victory. Even if you lose the hole, you are guaranteed into it. And with your continued undefeated win streak, this has got to mean so much for the team.
Yeah, it's really cool. We playing the rematch tomorrow, actually, which is quite exciting. But yeah, it feels really good. We kind of did the maths and figured as long as we get one of the buy spots for finishing first and second, we were happy. So obviously really delighted that it's gone this way.
Yeah, absolutely. I just one more thing because Quantify, you're a big Discord, but you've come in, very soon. You only I think it was the last split that you joined. Against these teams, Ablaze, Hentai Haven, who have been here for a long time. But you've made such big waves in all three categories, fielding so much teams. I mean, as the owner of Quantify, I mean, how does it feel to just see, especially to be part of a team and Discord that is just going from strength to strength at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's really incredible. I don't take too much credit for doing anything other than setting up 3 teams. All credit to all of our players and our coaches who are really putting in a lot of effort. And as for the Discord and the community, just all credit to everyone on there. It's not something I'm super actively trying to build. but we have some amazing people who are fostering a really good community, and it's fantastic to just see it paying off on all fronts at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, unless I haven't seen many good questions from chat. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it's other than Zidrek saying, how was your ADC? And, it's Big Boy.
Can I point out,
Oh, yes.
to answer a question from chat,
Mhm.
what do I think about our top laner? Our top laner is 100% win rate on Sion all time in VL, which I think is pretty impressive.
Wow, yeah, that is amazing. Unless there is anything else if you want to ask one more question, Ket, before we come to a close.
Nothing comes to my mind at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I just want to ask before, you have the floor, that game between Quantify Nova and Quantify Force, that is sure going to be good. Will that be streamed on twitch.tv/itsforks?
Unfortunately, I am playing.
Oh, yeah.
so probably not. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe someone else will. Otherwise, there's always a watch party for games on the Quantify Discord that people can jump in and watch someone screen share.
Well, no worries. Thank you for taking the time for this interview, Forks.
Awesome.
Honestly,
Thanks,
a banger
guys.
series. Yeah, thank you so much.
It was good. Thanks, guys. Thanks to you. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. I mean, I think we could both rest for a couple of days after that one and still not be recovered. But Ket, I mean, I still can't believe that was your first cast, and you've done so amazing. Big love in the chat for Ket, who've done so well. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me as well. It was a really fun experience, and hopefully the first of many long and grueling casts.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely. Big shout out. Commiserations to Frostbite Mystics. You played a hell of a game. Absolutely. We love to see the love in the chat. But that's it from Penumbral Samurai, and that's it from Ket. All of us over at the VL team. Thank you so much for making this an amazing community, an amazing stream. And yeah, we'll catch you next time on Monday for another game. All right. Love you guys. See ya.
Yes.